Okay. Close that. I gotta make sure that I have Restream open, then I'm able to see the chat. So, tab. This tab. Hello, LT. Welcome to the stream. I'm just waiting on Rev to join in the call. But I might as well do my own little intro here. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Left for Random Talk. I am Hellhounds20. My co-host, who is the Gundam holding the teddy bear over there, is 94 Revolver. He's an old friend of mine. Hey, Twitch LiveBot finally worked. Yay. Anyway, we've been working on this stream, this podcast, for a very long time, since Left 4 Dead was really popular. Now, granted, that's quite a long time ago. Left 4 Dead still had one hell of a hype for quite some time. Just waiting on Rev to join. Yeah, with the show, we talk about games, we talk about movies, talk about TV shows, comic books. We give you guys like insider news about the companies that make games and all the actors and actresses, etc. If there's any potential lawsuits or if there's a game or a movie you should avoid, we'll definitely let you know. For the most part, we give our opinions and then use sourced material to give you information. Nothing that you see in this show that we share with you, like if it's an image of a concept art, we don't take credit for that. We share it, but we put the links to the person who made it down below on YouTube. And also in the Twitch chat. Hello, Rev.
Hello, I'm here. Hi. Yes, sorry I'm a bit late. I was getting food.
You're not late, you're fine.
Oh. Well, hi everyone. I'm not late apparently.
We've only been all I've been doing is quite literally doing our intro and explaining what we do for 3 minutes, and that's it. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna start sharing the link around like I always do.
Why am I
holding a bear?
Yeah, you're holding a teddy bear and a dead gingerbread man's head.
The gingerbread man I'm fine with. Why the fucking teddy bear?
Because it's Christmas. It's a toy.
Fuck you, this is my bear.
You should see the one I have for you and Liam.
Hey, LT.
I think you've seen it.
Go ahead. Maybe. Just give me one sec. Yeah, like I said, I'm just kind of sharing the link with everybody.
That's alright. Ah, there it is.
Episode 30?
This is episode 31. 30 was an off the cuff.
Oh, right.
Because we've been trying for so freaking long to get it to work.
It was much dick.
Yeah.
That's fucking hell. No. I swear, I put that on vibrate. And it's like, no, screw you.
Oh, trust me, we would have picked up the vibrations. When we play D&D on Monday with Ostrich, he forgets to turn off his vibrator on his phone. So I always joke that he has a dildo with him or something.
Wow.
Yeah, it fits the scene. Thank you, LT. It was I either give him the ice-based teddy bear, or I put some giant frozen thing dead behind him. We already have a skull and a bloodied head crab. We don't need any more blood in there.
Says you. I need all the blood.
I could put the dabbing rhino.
No. It's like, no.
I still have that.
Jeez. Alright, this should be the last place I put this.
Yep.
And there we go.
Yay.
Alright.
We're ready. We have 4 people watching us on YouTube right now.
Well, alright. Hi, everybody.
And including myself, there are 4 people. Oh, 3 people watching us on Twitch. One of them is a bot. So that means we actually have 3 people on YouTube watching us.
Oh, okay. That's good.
Yeah. Anyway.
So, let's get into the topics of the day. We have been gone. Hold on, I almost dropped something.
We've been gone a while.
We have been gone, yeah, roughly a month, as expected.
Roughly, yeah.
So, the topics of the night are as follows. Fallout 76, failure upon failure. Bethesda refusing to let people get a refund if they download the game. No physical discs were sold. Lawsuit for deceptive practices being launched as we speak. US finally decides to launch investigations into loot boxes. The days of EA and the like putting gambling in their games is coming to an end.
Hooray, we've ended EA disease.
For now. Battlefield 5 crashes and burns hard. Turns out rewriting history doesn't sell. Who would have guessed?
Mm-hmm.
Nintendo gets rid of creator program. People rejoice as they can keep whatever money they make off of their Nintendo content. This means videos and the like. Finally. Spyro Reignited Trilogy quick overview. What we thought of it and how it stacks up to the classics. Revs reviews. Spider-Man PS4 Heist and Turf Wars. Stories pulled right out of the comics in a good way. I also forgot to put in this something else on that. What? I finally watched the Predator movie.
Oh boy. So Rev reviews is both Spider-Man DLCs and the movie?
Yeah.
Alright. Luckily I made that song for you.
Yay, we finally have a song.
Right, I'm good at composing a song if it's something as simple as that bullshit. And there goes our monetization.
Oh no.
God fucking damn it. Fuck. Okay. Okay. We get the point
It's
there.
as if we...
It's as if we cared.
Mm-hmm.
We're not making any money off of this. Not yet, anyway.
No, we do not. No, we do not. So I guess we should jump right into the cancer that is Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Cue the rampaging horde of angry fanboys.
No. I think it'd be more of a cue the rampage of Griffin McElroy and his brother. Oh god, have you seen their play of like Fallout 4?
No, I have not.
It's Monster Factory. It's the most insane bullcrap. They try to break the game.
I've seen that. It is my favorite thing to see.
That is the legacy Bethesda has given themselves with Fallout. But with Skyrim, you have the sweet granny. No joke. She's like this 89, almost 90-year-old grandmother who plays Skyrim. And I follow her channel. It's adorable and it's amazing. And every fan is getting a petition together to have her immortalized in the newest Skyrim or Elder Scrolls game.
Oh, please, Bethesda.
Please do this. She's really nice. She even got on national news because of it.
If there's any goodwill you have left, you will put this elderly woman in your game.
Yeah.
Anyway. So, yeah. So, as Fallout 76 has come out and people have played it, it sucks. It is filled with a myriad of issues, bugs, just bullshit in general.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I had friends who. All right, I guess we have the one person here who actually likes it. LT enjoys the game.
Well, for some, it's a good game. For others, it's bad. Just, I'm never gonna get into the Fallout series. I said that about Skyrim. I played Skyrim and I fucking loved it. But Fallout is something I'm never gonna get into. I like fantasy.
Fair,
I don't like it when it wraps itself into modern day fantasy.
Fair enough. And to be fair, I'm not picking on LT. He has the right to enjoy whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I was just being facetious.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I had a friend who works at Bethesda, and he showed me the code for Fallout 76 and basically a lot of the enemies. And it turns out a huge portion of them are actually reskinned enemies from Fallout 4. The biggest one, it's a model swap. It's a literal model swap. The biggest one is Mothman. It turns out he has the same animation and body type as a Mirelurk from Fallout 4. Amazing.
I did notice. I glimpsed the game a little bit with Paul Source Jr. and his son playing it, and I noticed that the Scorched, I guess they are the people that have like little bits of plants growing out of them.
Yeah.
I noticed that they all die in the exact same animation, even if you shoot them in the head.
Mm-hmm.
Crunch.
I have nachos here, all right? I haven't eaten all day. I deserve nachos.
You're fine.
Damn
You're
it.
fine. I've had to wrestle I have a almost 2-month-old puppy here. Like, he's absolutely adorable and tiny, but he's got a lot of energy. I have to throw him to the end of the couch every time I try to eat.
Jesus. But yeah, and that's because the Scorched are just a bunch of reskinned NPCs from Fallout. They're bandits. They're reskinned bandits for the game. Shock horror.
Oh.
It's atrocious. Not only that, but apparently any mod for Fallout 4 works in Fallout 76.
Oh my god.
It's literally Fallout 76 with a multiplayer component added on. If you wanted to put in the fuck mod, you could totally do that, and no one could stop.
Oh my god. No.
Yeah. That's how terrible it is. And here's the thing: there's a guy I like watching. Goes by the name of Oxhorn. Big guy, both physically and channel-wise, and I love his content. He does great story stuff. Goes into Fallout lore. Great guy overall. And I'm only sticking around with Fallout 76 because he's breaking down the stories and things of the game, so nobody else has to. And I'm so happy he's doing this. I really am.
There has to be somebody that does it.
Mm-hmm. And goddamn it, do I respect the man for it.
Mm.
But yeah, so from what I've seen of his gameplay, I've seen a lot of this shit, and I'm looking at this and I'm just the fuck, you know, just absolutely livid with it. So, and I'm not the only one. So people don't like the game, people don't enjoy it. So they've gone to try and get refunds for the game, give it back and all that shit. By the way, it's only been a few weeks since that game's come out, and it's already gone on sale more than once.
How many times has it dropped in price?
I think 3. And I feel so sorry for the people who paid full price to get it early. I really do.
Oy vey.
It's terrible. Feels bad, man. Feels very bad.
You know what's funny is that I enabled that emote over on Twitch, but I don't think anybody is going to see it through YouTube, only through the video.
Yeah, that's the sad thing, but that's fine. But no, and this is the other thing I need to say about this is that, um, so people, not only that, but there was also that collector's, what was it, that $200 collector's edition about it,
The
right?
one with the bag, yeah.
Yeah, and people are pissed about the bag because what was it? It was apparently because the bag swapped materials. Instead of a canvas bag, you got a very shitty bag instead of what you were paying for. And people are just angry about that overall, and I can see why they're mad. I mean, yeah, I'm looking at it, it's like, okay, it's a fucking bag, but I get what they mean. Okay, fair enough, LT, once again. If you feel, you got your money's worth for it, then awesome. Kudos to you, man.
Mm.
But that's the thing I'm saying. It's just that so people are angry about that, and people are demanding refunds. People want all this shit back. And you showed me that tweet a bit about what was it that
Yeah,
Bethesda
that
did?
post that somebody made on Tumblr that was of those tweets. That kind of summed it up what was happening.
Exactly. So basically, Bethesda is refusing to give refunds to people because of a quote unquote loophole, which really isn't, and that is if you bought the game digitally, aka Thinker, you were not eligible to get a refund. You would only get it if you had a physical version of the game. But here's the twist: they never created physical versions of Fallout 76. They have screwed the people over by basically. Jesus Christ, something fell. But they have screwed the people over because just because they just they sat there and said, haha, we have your money, you don't have the right to get your money back. Fuck you, give us the money. That's basically what it was.
Yep.
And now we know why they didn't go through Steam. Now we know why they didn't put the game on Steam. Because the moment people were dissatisfied and wanted their money back, they would have lost everything. Because Steam's like, yeah, sure, here's your money back. It's disgusting. So of course, because of all this bullshit, they're getting sued. They're getting a transaction lawsuit over this for deceptive practices, which is, they are violating the law because of this. It's wonderful when just bad people get what they deserve, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, you're fucking people over. Well, now we're gonna, call it a day. And I'm wondering what Todd Howard is doing right now. Just I'm picturing him just sitting there in his office, once again wearing the Teletubby costume he had so many years ago, just sitting there, is like, where did my life go so fucking wrong? I just want to sit that right now, just him staring at the
So there's a bot you can get for Discord that is quite literally Todd Howard.
Oh no.
And some there was a post on Tumblr that showed a picture of a conversation with him. Todd bot said something, and the person put in the emotes gun and sad face going, Todd Howard, not now. And then Todd bot replied, a picture of Todd Howard holding a gun pointed at you, and everybody's reply is like, oh shit. I am not going to get that bot for the group.
No, it's fine. But that's the point I'm making. It's just Todd has basically turned himself into the butt of the joke. That is Bethesda's Fallout, and Skyrim too. People are done with the creation engine, which is the engine they use for the Elder Scrolls games, all of them, except I think the Elder Scrolls Online. I don't think that's on the creation engine. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But that's the thing. This engine is, what is it? several years old, maybe 10, almost 20, I think. And people are done with it. They don't want to keep using the creation engine, playing on the creation engine, because that engine comes with a lot of bugs and issues, and people are just kind of, they're tired of it. They don't want to keep relying on third-party modders to come in and fix the issues of the creation engine. People are tired, and I believe It's a Gundam talked about this, where he spoke with someone on Twitter who was a mod for both games, I believe. And he basically begged Bethesda to create a new engine so we could something different, something new and interesting. And they just basically said, we won't do that because we know the engine so well, and blah, 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 blah. So it was basically a matter of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, but not in the good sense. If that makes any sense.
Yeah. Doesn't say anything about creation engine on the wiki.
Okay, so I guess we can assume.
I think because it's published by Bethesda, but it's made by a different studio.
Yeah, so
I'm
starving.
I know. I do this to you as well whenever I eat chips. I don't care.
It's like, and this isn't just you. It's like, for everyone watching this, I'm sorry. I'm hungry. I'm eating fucking nachos.
Hey. You don't have to apologize. This is something that really pisses me off when it comes to chats on streams. When you're in a chat for a streamer, that streamer is giving you permission to see what their life is like. There's going to be cats, dogs, birds, or fish moving around in the background, begging for their attention. There's going to be loud noises in the background. They're going to eat and drink on camera because that's what a human does. They're also going to stand up and leave the chair behind to go to the bathroom or make themselves something to eat or drink. It's normal. It is human life. This is not a recording that you see on YouTube. YouTubers heavily edit their videos, so you don't see that stuff. But this is a live stream. You are seeing somebody's life. So we're going to eat and drink on the show because that's what we do. So, yeah. No need to be sorry about it.
Yeah, but however, I will say this. As I am eating, I'm going to try to keep myself away from the microphone. All
Usually
right?
I just mute myself whenever I'm going to eat something that I know is going to be too crunchy.
It's like, I must not devour these nachos. Just
right into the mic. Whenever we're doing the show and I say that I brought down cereal, I mute myself on stream and in the voice chat so you can keep going as I'm just like going all crazy with it because I don't eat mine with the milk.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. Anyway, so aside from
that said,
mentioned, yeah, people, yeah, but that's basically the point I want to make here, is that Bethesda doesn't want to change shit, and I get why they won't do it, because it saves on development time and everything. But if everyone is asking you, hey, let's get a new engine.
If your entire fan base is begging you to change the engine, then yeah, change it. Also, here's the thing. We said earlier, we're not going to change it because we know this engine. If you know the engine so well, why aren't you fixing the bugs?
Exactly. Bethesda never fixes shit because they offload it to the modders and say, you know what, they'll handle it, or Nexus or whatever else have you. That's why they want to monetize them.
Or the bugs are very entertaining, so why get rid of it?
Yeah, but then that's a rare instance for something. If you know there's a problem with something, but people enjoy the bug because it's silly, then that's fine. It's when you have incredible, great game-breaking bugs that's when the issue props up.
I've had that with Skyrim. I used to play the I just drooled all over myself. This has been happening a lot today. I used to play Skyrim on the PS4. No, sorry, PS3. And there was a bug that popped up not long before my dad took away the PS3 in the game, and then we never saw it again. Not even he knows where it is, which is odd. A dragon landed in Whiterun, and I was supposed to run up to the Jarl to talk to him, and the dragon glitched so hard that it didn't matter if I went indoors or not, it would somehow reach in and kill me with a bite, like doing those finisher attacks. So I couldn't go anywhere. My only salvation was to try and run past it and out of the city. And just leave the guards to deal with the fucking dragon. It's like, yeah, this is your problem now. I may be the dragon war, but fuck that. My favorite bug, though, is still the worm. I went to the wizard college and a dragon attacked. We killed the dragon. Mm-hmm. I went down, I looted it, it turned into a skeleton. And I turn around to talk to an NPC, I turn back around, the body's gone, but the head and neck is sticking out of the ground like a worm. I even took a picture of it with my phone and shared it with Bill a long time ago.
Jeez. But that's my point. This is the problem Bethesda has, and that is they don't want to fix shit. And so they offload it to the modders. And again, this is why they want to monetize mods so badly. They want to do the whole paid mods thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's because they know the modders are a free source of work. And if it's possible to make money off of the free shit they make, why not? It's why people are pissed about it.
Mm-hmm.
And to add insult to injury, speaking about this whole thing, people who wanted to refund certain things, like the game or the bag or whatever else have you, instead of doing the right thing, Bethesda basically said, okay, so we see your $200 purchase. So what we're going to do is we're going to give you $5 worth of Monopoly dollars.
That's essentially it, yeah.
And it's like, do you want to lose money? Do you want to lose people's faith in you? Is that what you want?
Do you want to lose this giant fan base that is showering you with money for Elder Scrolls, like Skyrim 85? Like, do you really want to lose that?
Exactly. Because if this is like Todd Howard's, like, okay, I've done everything in my life. How can I destroy the company I helped build? This would be it. This would be it. It's like, I swear to God, if he like dies like at some point, like in like 2085, whatever have you, and he dies, I swear to God, he's gonna have like some troll message on his tombstone that says, "I killed Skyrim and Fallout."
No, I think what's gonna happen is that people are going to go to his gravestone and just put a pile of Skyrim CDs on it,
or just put the.
It's like the most terrible thing to say, because like 2 days ago, like the worst loss just happened.
The death of the guy who made SpongeBob.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was horrible. It was like first Stanley, now
like SpongeBob was good at the beginning. Then the movie happened. It was amazing. Then everything after the movie was terrible.
And then it all just kind of died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's again. This has been one terrible loss after another terrible loss these past few weeks. The fuck. It's like, are our childhood heroes just
like? The sad part is when you realize that your childhood is aging, and it's not going to be around for very long.
Exactly, and it's horrible. It really is.
Anyway, getting on to the sad topic, we're going to litter his fucking tombstone with CDs of Skyrim.
And the Teletubby costume.
Yes, and also memes. Lots and lots of memes.
Exactly. That's going to be his tombstone. A very buggy, glitched mess with a Randy Savage Macho Man, Dragon and or Deathclaw on it.
Yeah.
Man. All right. Let's move right along then. To our next topic of the night, the U.S. finally decides to launch an investigation into loot boxes. Huzzah!
Finally.
So, as everyone knows, the war against the loot boxes has been an ongoing conflict between gamers and game publishers.
We have
The biggest,
multiple episodes about EA disease.
yes, as we all know, the war has been going rather strangely in both our favor and, well, it's been well for us. We have been winning many decisive victories against the demons that are EA and Bethesda and Activision, as it is. And this has been yet another incredibly decisive blow. As we all know, the Netherlands have declared, and China, I believe, have declared loot boxes as gambling and as therefore illegal. And many companies have been removing their loot box practices or altering them so much so that they now fit into the new criteria that is the new laws that have now been caught up and evolved.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, we all knew that EA was demanding its Netherlands fan base to remove, to petition the law to be reversed so they could continue to nickel and dime their fans. Of course, this never, it never went through.
Yeah.
That said, however, one of the the group that is launching this investigation is, of course, the FTC. I believe it's the FTC. And basically, one of the, I believe, senators or leaders of this operation, whatever you want to call them, have contacted the ESRB, which is the rating system for video games. It's like a loose coalition of regulators, if you will. And she sent them a letter asking them to look, to regulate their own problem, to stop with this gambling before it gets worse. And of course, within a few days, or not even a few days, a few hours maybe, or a day, I'm not sure, the SRB wrote her back and said, yeah, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to put in contained monetary transactions on our boxes now. That was it. That was the extent of their involvement in this. And it was such a broad term that it could be called for anything, like DLCs, expansions, that kind of shit. It wasn't fixed. And they had basically tried to give the illusion that, hey, we're looking into this and yada yada yada, so
we're not really doing this because we're fucking liars. Also, I don't know how high my voice can go.
But yeah, that's basically what happened. And then they just said, you know what, if you guys aren't going to regulate yourselves, then fuck it, we're going to step in. And now they're stepping in.
Mm-hmm.
And I fucking love it because even the UK launched an investigation into problem gambling, and it turns out that within only a few years, the number of problem gamblers has risen up to 32%.
Yep.
Where before it was like 5%, something low like that. And we all know what to blame. We all know what to point at and say, you know what, this is what caused it. So now comes the matter of, well, where does this go? Where are we heading, in terms of this? And my honest statement on this is good. I don't like government regulation. I've never, once they put their foot in the door, it's going to be almost impossible to get them out.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, EA and the like have brought this on themselves instead of doing the responsible thing and saying, you know what, we should probably stop. No, they basically said, fuck you, we're going to keep making all this free money until, we can't do it anymore. Well, guess what? You're not going to be able to do it anymore. And because of your actions now, you're going to be put onto a much more scrutinizing sort of problems.
It's like when your parents give you a responsibility and they expect you to do this responsibility, and it's one that you've wanted to do or one that you're kind of forced into, you don't do it, they're going to take over, and then they're going to take over even more stuff of your life. Just keep pushing in until you have deadlines and what's the word? Curfews all over the place.
Exactly. And this is basically what's going to happen.
By the way, that is like a terrible way to raise a child.
But I get what you're saying. The concept is sound.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this is what's going to eventually happen, and unfortunately, EA and the likes just didn't want to listen. Now we have to deal with this. Now we're going to have to have now we have to really look into this. Be a good thing. This could also mean the end of forcing DLCs into games that don't need these or are strangled to include DLCs that for obscene prices, things that should have been in the game but are paid again. And if this is the end of the industry treating its consumers like shit, I'm all for it. I think I truly believe it's high time this kind of shit finally came to the forefront.
It's like they look at their fan base, they look at the people who buy their games, play their games, and love their games, and they don't see them as a person.
Exactly. In fact, I believe Jim Sterling and a few other people pointed this out.
Mm-hmm.
They're not interested in appealing to the mass of people who enjoy their games. They're more interested in appealing to the whales or such a small minority of people who have incredibly deep pockets to sustain the industry. And this is proof. It's been proven. Because a lot of games have a way for you to figure out how much revenue it makes, or check how much people are paying for this, just shit like that. And as it turns out, the more I've kind of noticed that there's a consistent pattern of only 100 or so people paying the big bucks for the very expensive premium shit, and there's a huge amount of people just paying the bare bones or very little of that kind of shit.
I know that like Warframe is spared from EA disease, which is a godsend, but I do notice like people similar to that when I play the game.
Exactly.
Like the early times when I would go to the bazaar to sell my stuff. Don't do that, by the way, unless this is your last choice. I had a person who walked into the relay and said out loud, everybody, I have money to burn. I will buy your crap and give you hundreds of platinum each. Jesus. Make me an offer.
Jesus H. Christ.
And I messaged him in private, like, how much platinum do you have? He says, almost 1 million.
Jesus.
Huh? How much money does he make? I want that.
That's my point. but that's my point. There are people like that who have enough disposable income to just say fuck it and do that kind of shit, and that's fine. You know what?
There is nothing wrong with that. Nope, nothing wrong with that.
Exactly. It's your money. You have the right to spend it as you have.
It's your money. Use it how you want it.
Exactly. Yeah, you won't see me.
Whitworth. Sorry.
But that's what I'm getting at. I'm not your father. I'm not here to tell you how to spend your money. It's just I see the problem, this kind of attitude that game developers have, and my immediate thought is, no, this has to stop. We cannot. This is bad for the
money
industry.
that person is spending is for their own pleasure. It's for their own like chill. It's for them to enjoy the game. It's not for you to be greedy about.
Exactly. And now, like I said, then they just would not stop. They kept pushing and pushing and pushing the boundaries of acceptable or practices and loot boxes to the point where finally, thanks to, ironically enough, Star Wars, the bank broke. And it has now led to this kind of situation. Where countries... Isn't it ironic, though, that Star Wars, of all fucking games, is the one that brought an end to the loot boxes?
Yay.
I'm just picturing the senator from Hawaii who started this whole thing sitting on the back of a tauntaun and holding like the declaration of war on loot boxes.
Hell yeah.
I sadly I want to see fan art of that at one point.
Wait, it was a guy in Hawaii who started it?
Yeah, it was the senator in Hawaii who basically said, "No, that's enough. We're not going to keep doing this," and it just snowballed from there.
Way to go, Hawaii.
Yeah. Again, I want to make fan art of the man and just send it to him. Thank you. It's like if you're running again for senator in a heartbeat.
Just that one action wouldn't really cut it. Be
But
like,
yeah,
I
but I guess
really
the
do
game.
hate going political, but you got to really look at what he's doing for the island state.
But you get the joke though.
Yeah,
Like you've won the gamer vote.
yeah. You've won our support.
Exactly. But that's what I'm getting at. This is good.
Mhm.
This is a good day. This is a good time for, again, the war is going in our favor.
Yeah. I can't believe we're actually calling it a war, though.
You know what? It has to be, because technically speaking, they attack, and they've been attacking us. So fuck it, it's a war now.
Mm.
It's like gather the great influential gaming generals to our side to stop the loot box invasion. Oh Jesus! All right, I guess we can continue on from there. We'll go into the next one, and that is Battlefield 5 Crashes and Burn. Hard.
That's sad.
Well, basically, they rewrote 3 World War II stories. From
Okay, nope, never mind. They've lost my care.
So, a shout out to American Krogan, who covered.
Oh yeah, Krogan's rule.
Yeah, but so shout out to the man for bringing this information out. Not only did he point out EA's actions of rewriting history, he actually covered the stories of the actual men and women who actually went through those conflicts and brought it to light.
The veterans that went through it, or something, or the people who worked on the game.
No. He the actual historic events. Like
okay, so the
veterans. Entire thing. Yeah, he relayed the entire thing in its entirety, and it was amazing. So basically, I've not played this game. I have no interest in this game or even looking at it, because that is disgusting. It really is. And like I said, I'm not going to bother with it, so I'm just going to cover what he did or what he said. So basically, according to him, the first chapter of the game has you playing the following, and I kid you not, a random, I believe was Hungarian or Swiss, I can't remember the nationality, and it really does annoy me that I can't remember. But a random girl, a civilian with no training, gets captured with her mother. British commandos are executed by Nazis. She then breaks free, single-handedly takes out an entire Nazi battalion, almost dies from the cold, manages to find her way to a cabin in the woods, kills an SS officer before passing out, then goes to the facility that's making the heavy water, which, by the way, heavy water is what you is a chemical compound which you use, or is an element you use in hydrogen bombs.
Mm-hmm.
Just to clear that up.
I live next to the place that made the bomb, dropped the 2 bombs, dude. I know.
Jesus. But yeah, so she single-handedly destroys one of the facilities. She then, her mother and her then are on board a Nazi U-boat. She is thrown off the boat. Her mother sacrifices herself to blow up the U-boat. And that's it.
But
Now, I want to point out what actually happened. A group of, I believe it was Swiss, God, I cannot remember nationality. But it was basically a team of commandos who went in and survived an entire winter on their own with no backup and no food, having to live off of lichen and moss. And then being contacted by the British service, Royal Service, for support, they infiltrated the Nazis' heavy water facility. And here's the kicker: they took it out entirely without killing a single man. That is fucking amazing. That really is. And the fact that DICE would basically erase these men who served and did the impossible is disgusting. It honestly pisses me off.
There were no Swiss, so it had to be Hungarian.
All right, Hungarian. Again, I'm sorry, I cannot remember the nationality. I just know of the event.
Well, wait a minute. Were these commandos the good guys or the bad guys? Any idea?
You cut out when you were trying to say that. Could you repeat?
Were the commandos good guys or bad guys?
Good guys. They were against the Nazis.
Then Hungary was bad guys, but the list of allies is Australia, Belgium, Brazil, Canada, China, Czechoslovakia, Denmark, Estonia, France, Greece, India, Latvia, Lithuania. There's a lot of A names at the end there. Malta, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Norway, Poland.
That's it. No, it was Norwegians. That's it. Now I remember.
Also South Africa, which is kind of shocking. United Kingdom, United States, USSR, and Yugoslavia.
Yeah, so it was. So they moved in. They did all that without firing a single shot. They captured a maintenance worker who agreed to help them. That is fucking amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's legitimately what pisses me off about this, because you're rewriting history to fit a modern political agenda, and honestly, you should be ashamed of that. You really should.
Look, a large portion of my family fought in World War II. Like, the last person who fought in World War II passed away a long time ago, and I never got to talk to him about it. In fact, when he fought, he made a vow he would never leave United States soil. He has not left United States soil since that war. He'll go to Hawaii. He'll go to Alaska, but he's not going anywhere else. Like, my grandma went to Russia on her own. He did not go with her. That is dedication right there.
Yes.
I love the Battlefield games because even though it is like a first-person shooter, action-packed, blah, 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 it is telling you a story of events that actually happened. Granted, the players can bullshit a lot of the gameplay and flip a Jeep upside down and even make it fly. But in the end, it's still telling the story of these veterans. And that's just a story you cannot and should never rewrite, because these events happened, and they could very much happen again, especially with who we have in charge.
Yes, this is the thing. If you remove that shit, you are removing. Basically, you're letting history play itself. That is something you should never fucking allow. And it gets worse. So, go ahead.
It's like the saying, the winners. The winners tell the story. The winners write the history. Something like that.
He who wins writes to his. Yeah.
Yeah. That essentially, these people are taking what the winners said, and the winners are being as honest as they fucking possibly can, because the events of that war were too horrible to lie about. And they're instead twisting it to be something that they did not want it to be.
Exactly. And it gets worse. So Then they talk about the next story was about the British naval forces during World War II. In this one, it was one of the earliest like naval forces ever, something special like that.
Mm-hmm.
However, in the game, it is depicted that they're all not volunteers or conscripts, but instead prisoners and cutthroats sent in to be butchered,
No,
effectively.
no.
No, that wasn't what happened. The real story, apparently, is about, and I kid you not, it was a British officer who went to the captain or a high-ranking officer above him and wanted to request the creation of a foldable canoe. The idea of which is like an infiltration vehicle, something that doesn't make noise. You could
Mm-hmm.
paddle out to a boat and infiltrate. The guy said no, that's impractical, wouldn't happen. So to prove him wrong, he actually went through with it himself, got his own canoe, went into the waters, infiltrated one of his own ships, and then wrote his initials on the high-ranking officer's bedroom door on the boat. And then immediately after he was promoted, and he went through with it. That that is some you can't make that shit up.
You really can. Like there is a story of a guy who captured a whole platoon of Nazis, like a whole ridge filled with like those bunkers that have like the big guns that shoot down at you, the machine guns.
Yeah.
Like in Saving Private Ryan or something. There was a guy that got up there and took everybody hostage with a stick. And he thought that, and he made them all believe he had a gun. But he managed to capture everybody. He did not kill anybody. He captured them with a fucking stick. And there's another one that's similar to that, where a guy politely captures everybody, and one idiot tells him, you're not going to shoot me, you don't have the guts. So he shoots him in the head. And then he looked at about everyone else, like pointing the gun and going, anybody else? Like, you really can't make that up.
Yeah, you really can't. And then finally, the last story that American Krogan covered was about France. And this was the bigger one of the biggest ones he had to tackle because he had to put history in order
Yeah.
for everyone. And it was about the African combatants who were conscripted into the French army because they were the colonial African French militia, something of that nature. Now you would think, okay, with the Dice's political leanings, depict this as something noble, yada yada. No, they depict it as the white French soldiers treated the black guys like shit.
No.
That never fucking happened. And it was horrible. It was so blatant. They even suggest that the reason why they don't appear in historic French photos about how they would march, after France was liberated, them marching in the streets with all, the reason why they don't appear in any French photos is because the French government purposely removed them from the photo. No, that fucking didn't happen. The only reason that didn't occur is because they were elsewhere fighting and securing another region
Because
while
they had
France was
fucking work
liberated.
to do. They had stuff to do. They are fighting a goddamn war. Like this is like the confliction with BioShock Infinite. It's a beautiful game, but but the racism is shoved into your face. Like racism is already shoved into your face on the day-to-day basis. We don't need this in our freaking video games. It's just forced in. We don't need that. We're fighting Nazis, for crying out loud. We got plenty of this already.
No, and it gets even worse. They even, what was it? It was some, in the game, they tried to depict that the Nazis were incredible, super evil, the black fighters, and like burning them alive. It's like, no, for fuck's sake. There are actual stories, and I shit you not, about apparent African prisoners of war, black people in general, who were captured by the Nazis, were not treated any better or worse than any white captured POWs.
Mm-hmm.
They were treated the fucking same.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea that, not only that, I would also like to point out that there were actually black German SS officers. They existed.
Yeah.
So this insane idea that Nazis also hated black people for some strange reason is so fucking retarded. It's downright laughable.
Oh, Rip, you can't say the word. For this, we can say it. We're talking about
Yes.
Nazis. We have all the right to say it.
It's so stupid.
Like,
And I've just sat.
I love Battlefield, by the way. It's one of my favorite games, mostly because it makes my dad really happy. And like, my dad's not in like the best terms medically, so anything that makes him happy is perfect in my book. He loves like Battlefield 1942, I think it's called. Like an old one, the one where the music is all you hear.
And it's incredibly bombastic.
It's bombastic, it pumps you up, it makes you feel good. I watched the trailer for the new Battlefield and I thought, oh, this is going to be really good. And I can hear the music from the original, from that game. I got even more excited thinking like, oh, maybe I should get this for my dad. But now, oh my gods, I cannot let my dad anywhere near that. It breaks my heart. It's the Diablo thing all over again. It breaks my heart to know that this is a game franchise that my family loves. Like, it's in my family. Both real life history that we've gone through, as well as modern day enjoyment of video games on the computer and on the consoles, and it's being shat on by people who want to keep things modern and rewrite the history and support something that's not real.
Exactly. And it's just, it is annoying and incredibly just, it pisses me off. I'm a history buff. I enjoy hearing these stories because to me, every story deserves to be heard. Every fighter has to have their tale told so we know what they were like, why they died. That's what pisses me off.
I still regret not saying anything to my grandpa because like both of us were the antisocial people. Like both of us liked having our space. We were both in our own little world wherever we went. Whenever it came to missions in Battlefield games where you fly over the ocean fighting the Japanese, like my only thought is you are probably playing my grandpa right now. He did that. That's what he did.
It's just
just
if any, like, here's the thing. This isn't fucking Battlefield. This is revisionist history. And that's it.
This is somebody's attempt at a fan fiction or a comic book that should not be made.
Exactly. If they had gone out and said, you know what, this isn't 100% accurate, or we're doing our own thing.
How about not put the title Battlefield?
No, they have to, because Battlefield, the other one before this, sold so much money. That's the only reason they made it, to cash in on the Battlefield name again.
Was the previous Battlefield any good, by the way?
It was. People enjoyed it. As far as I can tell, the stories weren't changed in any way. Many of the conflicts and battles were kept as accurate as possible. The only one I think was slightly altered involved the Ottoman Empire conflicts, but outside of that, I don't think anything else happened. Again, I would have to check.
I remember hearing like somebody was complaining about bugs with it.
Yeah, but that was bugs, to be expected.
Oh yeah, it was the horses. Because like, it's not every day you play a game with war involved that's like, I want to say modern day. It's really not modern day. It's like close to modern day, and there's a horse.
Mm-hmm.
Like Red Dead Redemption, that makes sense. What is that war game? An old friend of mine used to play this Mountain Blades, I think it's called.
Yeah, I think that's it.
I just know it like Criken played it. It was really funny. Anyway, yeah, I'm not supporting Battlefield.
Yeah, nobody get this game.
Nobody.
At all.
Please don't.
And again, it's clear nobody did, because not only has the game's like pre-orders went down the loo because of all this, nobody's playing it. They're only playing the multiplayer because that's the only good thing about it, apparently. All right, on to something better. On to something more joyful.
Yeah.
What is it? It's like, what is
Nintendo's
it?
creator program
is gone. Yes.
So, like, essentially, if I'm understanding this right, people who make YouTube videos on Nintendo games like Legend of Zelda, etc., they are now free to do this.
Yeah, they don't. Basically, beforehand, the creator program was basically Nintendo would allow you to make things with their games, like walkthroughs and the things of the like, but you had to give them money to do it. And of course, nobody went through with that. Nobody wanted
except for one guy.
Yeah, probably.
Nintendo Capri Sun. He's the only one.
Oh. Okay, but this is where I'm getting at. So basically, they demanded people would submit their footage, all that shit, to Nintendo, and then Nintendo, much like how YouTube does the whole monetization, the manual review monetization. That's basically what Nintendo was doing with the footage. They would manually go through it and decide if it was suitable to, go through with this, or if they said, no, you don't have the right, yada, yada, yada. But people didn't do that. So instead, they just kind of uploaded their shit. So Nintendo, not wanting to lose on the money, said, okay, then if you guys aren't going to play ball with us, well, fuck you. We're just going to take your ad revenue. How's that? And for a while, that has been basically what's been going on. The creator program is now done and over. It's terminated because apparently, as far as I know, Nintendo was starting to lose fan support. Ironically enough, because none of the big name YouTubers like I want to say like Angry Joe or a vast majority of people I should say stopped covering their games, and then as a result there is no word of mouth or anything. So
like if somebody like PewDiePie at the time had reviewed one of their games, holy shit.
Exactly. So because no one was covering it, or the quote unquote reviews were so small, so small that they didn't have no, just hiccup.
Yeah.
But basically, or the reviews were so small that there was no space to put in mid-rolls or things of that nature. Nintendo was losing out big time. It was like you can imagine like a 5-minute review that of like Splatoon or something.
You need like 10 minutes at least.
Exactly. And that's my point I'm getting across. Basically, there was no money coming in from those videos, at least from what I could tell. And a lot of those videos were so short and, so quick to the point that not a lot of people were interested or, even impressed. And as a result, Nintendo's bottom line. So as a result, they just said, okay. We get it. We're going to remove this program there. Now it's gone. Now people can make whatever the fuck they want without the fear of Nintendo swooping in and claiming all the money on their video.
Yeah.
Or stream, even.
Oh, yeah, that's a big thing.
Too. Yeah, any bits you got? No, it's like, oh, you got a $10 tip. It's Nintendo's now. That's why you never see live streams of like Splatoon or anything.
Yeah, now I understand what happened with Zabu the Circle.
Yeah. But yeah. Well, now that's as far as from what I could hear, Nintendo is fine with people doing this kind of shit, and then yada yada yada. The only stipulation now is that they won't let people, or they don't want people creating
merchandise.
content. No. Content with non-gameplay related footage, like, early alpha kind of thing. Like early trailer leak stuff. That's what it is. That's the only thing they don't want. And to be fair, you know what? I'm fine.
Yeah.
I can live with that. Yeah.
That's perfectly okay. Like, that we've had some episodes about this before. Like, you don't do that.
Exactly. Yeah, we're, we covered that, what was it?
It was
That
a
one
guy, that
journalistic
idiot that
hack.
leaked, even though he was told not to.
Yeah, see, I was trying to mock the fucker.
I can't tell those kind of jokes. You know this. You're the one who diagnosed me with that.
It's fine. But still, the point remains. It's like, we're not like that one fuck.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people shouldn't be like that one. Because leaks or early concept or shit of that nature is going to change. And it's only going to hurt you because you look like an idiot.
Also, like, I've said this every time we talk about that idiot. When you do that, you ruin that for everybody and yourself. You're fucking over the entire world at this point.
Yeah.
Because then that developer is never going to trust you again and never going to let you touch any more of their work ever again. You're not going to get any free stuff either.
Hold on. Someone's messaging me.
Is it Bill?
No. So somebody else.
Okay.
Client. But that's exactly. You ruin it for everybody else in the industry, to the point where nobody, a developer won't come out and say, you know what, let's not invite this group of people and let's treat them like everybody else.
Yeah, like, people on YouTube and Twitch, their bread and butter is new games, talking about them and playing them and testing them out for the developer and getting the word out there. If you leak when you're not supposed to, which sounds very weird now they say it, if you leak a game without their permission, and even when they told you not to, you're ruining this for every game, like every content creator. And they'll know who did it too. That's the worst part.
Yeah. Exactly. And unfortunately, that's why you don't do this. And, that's why people... Yeah, exactly. And I believe that fucker is losing subs, or I don't know. I haven't heard of the guy.
We just like completely ignored the fact that he exists. So
yeah, that's it. It's like, at least on this show and with us, the guy doesn't exist.
We don't even know his name.
Yeah.
We just know him as the fucking idiot.
Exactly.
Among other names, but we are live right now and we have an audience, so I'm going to keep those words to ourselves.
Yes. But one of them is Hack. It's writing pun. Anyway.
Yeah. Anyway.
All right, I suppose we can move on to the next bit. And that is...
I just realized that was redemption for my old channel. My old channel got taken down because I played Hamtaro for the Game Boy.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Anyway, moving on to Spiral Reignited.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah, that's a fair way of putting it. It is.
Like,
it's like, oh, my childhood.
Yes. I remember when I first saw the images of what they've worked on, like the beautiful remake of this game. I was so excited for it to come out, and then it comes out, and I'm still super excited.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never gonna be able to play it, but I love it.
Yeah, I do not own a PS4, so I have not played
Neither do I. I don't even know where the hell our PS3 went.
But I have sat down, I have watched people do 100% runs, and it's like...
120.
My God. Yeah, 120, 100%. It's the same thing.
No.
But I've sat there, I've looked at this, and I'm like, oh my god, yes, it's amazing. It looks
Here's the
so
thing.
good.
I have never played the original trilogy. I played Enter the Dragonfly, and that was it.
Oh.
That was like the worst game ever, by the way. That was like absolutely terrible. Fun, but terrible.
Everybody, no. The thing that everyone kind of like talks about Enter the Dragonfly is the horrible character models and the squash and stretch they seem to go through.
Yes. That's like that's actually something I enjoyed. Actually, I liked how the characters animated. They were weird. They were like you looked at how they were animated and go, "Oh, PS2." That pretty much sums up the PS2. Just the weird animations. But
yeah, pretty much.
I both loved and hated that game so much. And unbeknownst to me, my ex beat the game on my file. So I never got to see what happened. I don't know how to beat the final boss. I don't know about the final 3 worlds. In fact, when I went to the final 3 worlds, I was so confused I didn't know what to do. And there is one dragonfly I think can burn in hell. Just one. There is a level called Cloud 9. And like you've seen how Spyro controls with the camera and stuff like that, how difficult it is.
Yeah.
You have to jump these narrow pillars, like Greek style pillars, up to a cloud where the dragonfly is, and when you get close to it, the dragonfly will fly down to the bottom. So you have to drop down to get to it, and it'll fly back up to the cloud. You have to be very quick to get it.
It's like, motherfucker.
I gave up on that dragonfly. I did not get 100%, and I did not care.
No, I've actually played and part of Spyro 3. The classics, I should say.
I know of them. I've seen Brain Scratch Comms play them.
No, but I went through them, and I remember, and seeing them remastered in 4HD, the levels I used to play and struggle as a kid, and seeing people having such an easy time with it. And my only thought is, just sitting there.
You watch this and you can feel like the phantom pain of your thumbs trying to keep a grip on the buttons and just mashing them so hard.
Or just trying not to yell at the top of my lungs.
It's like, God damn it, why didn't we have this?
Exactly. And my God, just seeing it and not, obviously not playing it, but watching the levels and people going through them again. It's like I can, which is weird, the sensation of the level, and it's like, I can.
Oh, memories.
So well. Yes, and I loved it. I love how all the characters look in this sort of what sort I'm looking for here, cartoonish sort of way, like almost Pixar look.
Yeah, Pixar. Or DreamWorks, that works too.
Yeah, DreamWorks, Pixar, either or. And I'm looking at all. It's like I sit there, I look at it, I remember incredibly terrible looking model.
The completionist actually highlighted this. Like each of the dragons in the original were the same model, recolored, and like all of them doing the exact same animations. Some of them even had the exact same voice and the exact same look. Like they didn't care to change it. But in this new one, each and every one of them has a different style, a different voice, and a different animation to do something. Even if they're just saying thank you, they all look unique, and it's amazing.
Exactly, and it's like that is a good attention to detail. Unfortunately, that attention to detail did not go to the baby dragons. The same in the third game, when you not capture, why do I want to say capture? When you capture / rescue. No, but when you rescue the baby dragons, they go through an animation where they hatch from the egg and kind of do a silly little thing, like maybe one will dance or one will sneeze, or it's just something like that. However, that hasn't that was it, and it was very candid. It was just like with Spiral 1 would be almost identical and repeat certain things. Yeah, yada yada yada. And what I had expected was, okay, so they've made all the dragons in Spiral 1 look incredibly unique and given them unique
Yeah, they're probably gonna
characteristics.
do that for the babies, aren't they?
I thought they were, but no, it's basically repeated models, repeated animations, maybe slight color changes for a few, or if it's a girl, they'll give it a bow or something like that.
I
But
think
that's
by
it.
then they had like completely burnt out.
Yeah, probably.
Like,
Which is a shame.
they worked on this game for how long? Like,
I don't even want to
like
think about
quite a while. I want to say a few years, like a very short span of years. And like after they teased like the first image, they were immediately put on a time crunch. Like as soon as a developer puts out an image to tease their game, everybody wants to get it, so they're put on a time
Yeah.
crunch. So by the time they reached the third game, they were nearing the end of that time crunch. I'm gonna keep saying that, time crunch. Crunchy time.
But that's the point I want to put out there, though, is that the fact of I believe the number of baby dragons is what, 106, 7, something like that. No. It's I remember specifically it's like 117, something of that nature. Maybe 120.
Mm-hmm.
And so my thought was, and what was Inspire 1, how many like dragons were there? It's like 80
Oh,
or so?
the completionist said it. I'll have to look into it. There were a lot of dragons.
Well, yeah, but that's my point. Is like we have the time and the resources to make all the Spiral 1 dragons be unique and different, but we don't have time to do the same for babies.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think, kind of talking out of my ass here, I think when it came to the babies, they didn't want to force a style on them. Like, I hate that we're going so political with this episode. There is such a huge debate and like a lot of arguments about gender, about people's genders, stuff like that, and how things should be, how things can be, and stuff like that. And a lot of people get super angry, just absolutely furious when a baby girl is born and they are immediately put into a pink outfit with a bow.
Yeah.
So I think that's why they just kept the same model over and over again. They gave him a bow here and there. Because if they force anything like similar to that, they're going to get a lot of backlash that is not needed.
Or isn't even like, again, it's a big well, how does the saying go? It's a big to do about nothing, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I can see that. But still, the point I want to also make out is that I am honestly amazed that they kept every piece of the original dialogue and just brought it back over. I'm actually quite shocked by this, but in a good way. You know?
Yeah.
And it is a weird sort of uncanny valley I'm looking at. You know, just hearing this, seeing the animation, seeing the characters, seeing how they've changed or been redone, and I'm just sitting there like, I don't know how to feel about this. But in a good sense, you know?
Yeah.
And again, I'm not a stickler about the voice. I don't see it detracting or taking away from, my enjoyment of the game.
Yeah.
I think the only character I could say I don't enjoy their voice is Spyro himself.
It is like the original voice actor coming back, though.
Yeah, but this is the problem. I can hear the fucking SpongeBob.
Oh no. I'm watching an ad for the new Battlefield game. And it shows that there's awards for it.
Oh, Jesus. Fuck off, Battlefield. Fuck off. Ugh. Right. But no, that's what I'm just saying. It's like I can hear the SpongeBob and
That's
Spyro's
exactly who it
voice.
was, though.
I know, but that's my point is that it's clear he's been doing SpongeBob so much that any attempt to do a different sort of character with a kind of a similar, not even a similar voice, more like an upbeat, kind of childish demeanor, like what Spyro has going on, he's gonna unintentionally slip in a bit of SpongeBob in there, which is kind of sad. But I'm not angry. I'm not like pissed off. It's like, oh, no. It's like I get it. He's been doing something so long, and it can't be 1-to-1, so it's fine.
Yeah.
I will say this though. I find it odd that some characters get most of the characters have like a 1-to-1 touch up of their original model. You know, like some of them will. Again, the titular Spyro, he almost looks exactly like he did in the PS1 games.
They
But,
also
obviously,
included the cheat codes and what they do.
yeah, and I love that. But this is what I'm getting at. I'm happy to retain a sort what they look like as the classics.
80 Elder Dragons.
Okay.
I actually had to watch the completionist in the background. It was muted though.
It's fine. It's fine.
There is a bug in the game. I want to point this out. There is a very bad bug in the game where if you're going for the 120 completionist route, don't get all of the gems. Don't get all of them. Save some of them behind so that when you do finally beat the boss, you get the trophy for it, and then you go get the gems. Because if you don't, it's not going to give you the trophy.
Yeah, I believe that's what I believe that is a known issue with some of the games. I think.
I can't say this after this topic. We need to take a break.
Okay. But yeah. But what I was going to point out is that for some characters, I do find it strange that they did add more things to the characters' designs.
Mm-hmm.
Again, not a bad thing though. I'm just pointing it out for a moment. The big one is, of course, Sheila. It's
The
like in the
kangaroo,
original,
yeah.
Yeah, it's like in the original, completely naked. This one, let's give her red hair and a vest. Okay. Or shirt.
If they're trying to deter, or at least try and spare some modesty from the furry fandom, they're not doing too well. Because
No,
the furry
they are
fandom's not going to give a crap at all.
Mm-hmm. And again, I'm pointing this out because of like, to me, when I saw that, I was like, okay, this is an odd way to go about it, but I'm not complaining. It's odd. It's
I do
it's
like
something you notice.
I do like the redesign of God, what's her name? The fawn, the goat lady. I don't remember her name. I never played it.
Alora.
That's her. I don't even think she was in Enter the Dragonfly.
No, she was not.
But the bunny was.
Yeah, because at this point, I suppose they were trying to make her.
Oh God, Hunter was so annoying in Enter the Dragonfly. So freaking annoying. Like, if you thought like Spyro's original voice was bad, his voice in that one was so bad I had to turn off the TV.
It's like, dude, shut up. Shut up.
Like, yeah. It was one of those things where I will happily listen to him talk once. Then when I have to go back and talk to him again, if I forgot what I was doing, I turn off the TV and I just sit there tapping the X button, waiting for the conversation to end. Never come back. Oh, he's still talking. Okay.
Yeah, I did notice that her design was more. Again, they really did try to make her look more. What's the word I'm looking for here? Better than her original version, because I remember seeing it.
She didn't look like a fawn at all. She looked like a fox.
It kinda, at least with the head.
She also had like she also had that white tummy that went up to her chin. Like that, I remember their designs. I just don't remember their names. I'm terrible with names.
Yeah. I see what they're going for in this version. It's just I remember looking back to the original, and she just had a green bra, which now it just makes me laugh.
Yeah.
But overall, I did find the redesign more interesting. It makes her look less human. Ironically, less human, more
Critter.
natural to the world.
Yeah.
Because I remember looking at her in the original and thinking, that is a person wearing a costume.
Yeah. I'm now concerned on what the Yetis look like and what the penguin looks like. Like I remember those characters because, like, again, Jacksepticeye is like the best person to go watch the original, and now he's playing the new stuff. I believe he recently finished the first game with the Reignited series.
Bentley, the Yeti, his design is more. It's touched up, like a lot more. They made him look more bestial, but not in a bad way. More like, okay, yeah, he probably eats meat on the occasion.
Yeah, like,
but it's more.
Was in the original he was just a potato?
Yeah, he looked horrible as hell.
Like, he was the younger brother to a giant, but they looked like potatoes with arms.
Yeah, both of them. Yeah, the original Bentley, like once you rescued him, bags, it looked horrible. Like in retrospect, it just looked like a shaved gorilla. That's what I thought when I looked at it. It's like, that is what's going on right here. No, actually, the little brother is the design for the little brother is kind of.
Oh no! Yeah, I remember this. He looked more like a dog with a, like an old Don Bluth dog or something like that. Really weird.
Yeah.
Crappy Don Bluth.
Yeah, but the redesign makes him look more human, but also animal-like, which good combination. I think makes sense. As for his little brother, they just made him more like some. I won't say angsty teenager. It's more like kid starting to become a teenager kind of look. Like when one of his idle animations is he'll sit there with for a moment and then take out a cell phone and start texting before putting it away.
Yep.
They also gave him sneakers for some reason.
Well, it's freezing cold.
Yeah, but his brother's barefoot. The fuck is going on here?
The younger one has shoes, but the big one doesn't.
Yep.
That actually kind of makes sense. Yeah. Because when we're younger, we want to impress. So hey, shoes. When we get older, we don't give a crap. Like, we're a perfect example. I'm walking around in pajamas. I got no bra. I don't give a crap. My hair's not even brushed.
Yeah, that's about it. So wait. So you haven't seen the new design for Bentley, then? I'm
trying to find it, but I'm not seeing anything.
I have it right here. I got it. Don't worry.
Yay! Like the the wiki is not even helping. Oh my god! Holy shit! He looks amazing.
Yeah. The club is also incredibly well detailed. Like, it's very clearly. Oh god, what's the word? The name of that ice that never can melt? What is it called?
I want to say dry ice, but
no, it's a natural thing, like in glaciers.
Oh,
it's like it has a blue glow inside, you know.
God damn it!
This is gonna bother me now. But no, his club has that going on too, which kind of explains why when he leaves the ice, his home, it's not melting in his head. Which is kind of cool. I did enjoy that. I also find his vocabulary quite colorful. Yeah.
Hey, by the way, the Japanese invented ice cream that never melts.
Oh, good. Now, how do I order that?
Go to Japan.
I see. I must take a plane then. Fuck. I thought I could get it special ordered. No, what is it? Oh, right. As for the penguin, you said you haven't seen the design for it?
Not yet.
Um,
Somebody posted on YouTube questions, what is that ice that never melts called? First, like, best answer, diamond.
best answer, diamond.
Next answer, iceberg. Final answer, advice.
Jesus. No, so
Puns.
So the bird, Sergeant Bird, I don't know why they. Never mind. I stopped making sense of these names years ago. Yeah, but basically his design, it's kind of a touch up of the classic. Like he's got a lot of the original things going on. It's just something fucked up when they were designing, modeling the character. Is it just me, or is his feet too big for him?
What the hell? Yeah. That's not how a penguin works. The feet are tiny.
Here.
The only time they're that big is if it's a baby. But even then, they're still not that huge.
Something fucked up here. And
I think they tried to keep the idea that he's a baby, so they took ideas from other birds that have large feet when they're babies, like ducks and geese and swans.
Also, I should mention this as well. I have finally found, like, when I played the third game hold on. Sorry. When I played the third game as a kid, and when I went through his level, I remember desperately trying to find the fifth hummingbird. And I could never figure out where to go or where to find it. I did everything. I could never figure it out. So I was just one bird missing. I see the playthrough now. I see that level, and then I discovered that there was an entire floor you could bomb apart and go down to get her.
This is why I like Let's Plays. I never bash them unless the person is really terrible as a person in general. You learn so much about a game that you've played for years.
Yeah, but that's my point, and this is where I think the classic games suffered, because I remember going in classic and remembering that the floor looked normal. There was no place or obvious indicator to blow it up.
That was always a problem with the old games.
Yeah, but now you can do that because there's a very obvious crack on the floor. It's like, mother.
Yep.
Why? Oh, jeez. Hold on. Can we put this on the stream?
Oh boy. What do you want me to put on the stream?
Just the stupid thing I found.
Oh my god! Oh, I know that level. That's the skateboarding one. Those little salamanders, I think they're called.
Lizards from hell.
He looks like a rat that got his nose punched in. It's in Big Farm too.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, poor Hunter.
Hunter, cheetah, part rat, all derp.
I was happy that he showed up again in like the newer games, like the 360 game era games, but good gods.
Yeah. Oh, and I should also mention, I think they kept the monkey for 3 1-to-1. They just changed up a few things, like updated the design.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see if I can.
The secret agent monkey. That was like the weirdest thing to say, a secret agent monkey, but that's what he was.
No, it isn't just that. It's also the fact that he's active.
He what?
He's incredibly hyperactive.
Ah.
It's like whoever is sneaking him treats, stop it. Yeah. It's just, sorry, I'm just kind of picturing it. It's like, whoever's doing that, stop it now. I know who you are. Yeah. How they even kind of played up a little bit of the monkey nature of, climbing up things, being very excitable. I like it.
Oh, wow.
Is it just me, or does he look like something out of Ratchet and Clank, though?
Yeah. His muzzle looks really weird to me. It's like it's not even like a monkey face. It's like he's got a snout.
Yeah, I see what you mean. I think, yeah, the original was much small. The mouth was much smaller original. I
Yeah.
remember that for a fact.
The only reason I'm not
I
putting
think,
these things up on screen, folks, because there's Let's Plays literally everywhere.
yeah, you'll find it. Don't worry.
Like, we're only showing you the stupid shit, like Hunter.
Like Hunter and his rat face.
You know what's sad for me?
Mm.
I have a cousin who's like a week younger than me, and his name is Hunter.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm just picturing him sitting there. It's like, cuz?
I don't even share the live stream with my family. They just know that I stream.
All right. What else was gonna? Oh, right. Should also mention this as well. I think, again, a lot of the characters are very well designed. A lot of the levels are actually so faithfully recreated. I'm so happy to see them. Hell, I even like the fact that a lot of the NPC, the ones you talk to, I should say.
Yeah. They've been touched
very
up.
happy to see. Yeah, I love the fact that they're updated, they're redesigned slightly, and they're just, they have better voice. Well, I won't say better. It's the
improved a little bit, like touched up, cleaned up, etc., etc.
Yes, and it feels wonderful to see. And when I saw this,
you're seeing this new game, and you're thinking to yourself, "This is what my tiny brain back then imagined the original looking like, what it hoped to look like. This is what we wanted, and they've done it. They've done it so well."
Yes.
Toys for Bob, you did a great job.
My only complaint, and the only thing I think made me slightly mad about the entire game, was the fucking skeleton that dances.
Oh, God.
So for those of you who don't know, there is a skeleton in Spyro 2 and Spyro 3, I believe. When you and the objective is to find the bones and put them back together. In the classic games, he would do kind of like a silly skeleton dance that took up a full 2 minutes, I think. In this version, except this time around, it's the dance is shorter, and I shit you not, they have him doing the Fortnite dance. And the music, yes, and the music in the background is a remix of air horns. I think this is a joke, or is making fun at Fortnite.
Hey, that's good. Fortnite practically makes fun of itself. Have you seen the commercials for the phone that can play Fortnite?
It's so huge. It's like, no, it's fucking not.
It's tiny.
You're going to get owned a lot.
Yeah, there's severe lag when you turn around.
Yeah, just go back to the PC.
Another issue, like the only other issue with the Spyro Reignited, is the motion blur when you turn the camera. Otherwise, the camera, you can go with like the original pain in the ass one, or you can go with one that's a little bit better. But there is a motion blur, so you might get a little bit sick playing the game, but in all honesty, it's kind of worth it. Kinda. Don't quote me on that.
Don't quote me. Yeah, everybody looks and feels good, and is it a bit smaller? Maybe it's just because I'm older, and everything just looks smaller to me when I look back at childhood.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, I look back, it's like, something changed. And it isn't just the graphics.
Should we take a break now?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
We will be back in a few minutes, people.
Yep. Okay, now it's just me and the audience. We're going to take a quick break. I did not play the intro music at the beginning this time, but I'm going to play it on repeat during the break. because I'm not doing so great right now. I need to take care of myself. So get up, stretch, do what you need to do, get a drink, get something to eat. If you don't want to listen to the intro music on repeat, just mute the tab and walk away. We'll be back as soon as we can. What text was this? Nope, that was something else. So we'll see you guys later. That does not sound right. That really did not sound right. Hello, I am back. Just waiting on Rev. Is there anybody still in the chat? Oh, hello.
I am back.
Yeah, something happened with the intro music. It doesn't sound the same.
How strange. How very, very
Like,
strange.
when we went on break, I realized that the drums were gone. So like the first portion of the break was me fixing that. But even that didn't sound right.
Jesus. Well, there you go, folks. The drums have broken.
Okay, your audio's starting to mess up.
Oh no! Oh no!
Yeah. Anyway, should we
All right.
I have chips.
Good. I just finished mine.
No, I'm doing it. I also have
All right, let's.
a casserole made out of Thanksgiving Day leftovers.
Oh, good, good. That sounds delicious.
It's
All right,
not.
well, let's.
Well, it's good. The green beans are terrible.
Oh, Jesus. All right. Let's get into my little bit of the part of the show, I suppose, and that is Rev's Reviews.
We now have a theme song for it. Yay!
Hooray!
I'll play it.
Okay, good. Let me turn on the audio slightly.
There we go.
Yep, that was good. That was good. All right, and today we are Spider-Man PS4, The Heist and Turf Wars. All right, so these are DLCs for obviously the Spider-Man PS4 game. These are small, kind of, I guess you could say, bite-sized DLCs from the fantastic Insomniac Spider-Man game.
Yeah.
So basically, it goes like this: Heist is, as the name implies, it is a kind of a small um, story involving Spider-Man meeting up with Black Cat again. Now, in this game universe, I suppose she's gone on the. Uh, she's trying to be clean, walk
Yeah.
away without being criminal, but she just can't help herself. So she starts stealing art, only to destroy them to discover or pull out small USB drives. Spider-Man is curious about it, but she's being very, very like, I can't tell you why I'm doing this, and just running away after every time. As it turns out, she's working for one of the mafia crime boss families in the city, and is working for one specifically called Hammerhead. Now, for those who read the comics or anything, Hammerhead is kind of like a small-time crook, not very imposing, not very dangerous. His whole thing is that he has an incredibly flat head, so he uses it to like smash people's heads in. Yeah, it's very, very literal. Some interpretations, it's like he has a piece of metal there that he put himself. Other times, it's like something else. It's shit of that nature. This version is basically he got shot in the head, and a large portion of his skull got pretty much destroyed. So they had to like reinforce it with a skull plate. And now basically it's like, what is it? I think it's made of like steel or something like that at his request. So he can basically kill people just by headbutting them.
Damn.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah, that's kind of badass. Unfortunately, he looks horrible as hell. Yeah, his head did not heal well after the bullet impact. Poor fucker. Anyway. So Catwoman's all very defensive. Spider-Man's like, hey, what's going on? She runs away a few times, and then finally she drops the major bomb as to why she's doing all this. They've kidnapped her son.
Dun dun dun.
Yeah, and she even heavily And Spider-Man is like, oh my god, did we? Just in that kind of like almost serial drama kind of method. Of course, he's kind of like trying to figure out how to tell MJ because they're dating now. And, he's kind of worried and she's kind of worried about the kid. And it's very nice. They decide to finally go in and using they find out where the kid's at. And so they break in to try and get him. But surprise, it was a lie the entire time. Catwoman was just using his good nature to help her steal shit. And she wasn't working for Hammerhead at all. She's basically been stealing the USBs and giving him fakes, all for the plan of basically using it to unlock a huge ass safe and then steal shit from it and the
Wow.
bitch. It's like, honestly, that was like super bitch move, Not cool.
Mm-hmm.
Not cool at all. But of course, Spider-Man figures out that Hammerhead expected this, and discovers that the USBs she's carrying have transceivers, so they know where she's going. And before you can get to it, the safe explodes, and it's pretty much inferred that she's dead.
Wow.
Poetic justice, I suppose. Kind of. Anyway, after that, Spider-Man and Peter Parker and MJ kind of sit down and talk about what happened. MJ's like, "Oh, I won't do that to you," and they make up over it over pizza. But Hammerhead's still out there, and they're like, "Oh shit!" And that's basically where Turf Wars comes in. Turf Wars, the direct continuation of Heist, which I think it's like a few weeks later, something like that. Again, it's not very clear the timeline. So Spider-Man goes in, and now that Hammerhead can't blackmail the other crime families into doing what he says, he has to now he decides to kidnap and kill them and then take over himself. And that's basically the main driving force of Turf Wars throughout the entire thing. Spider-Man is is trying to stop Hammerhead from getting his hands on the Sable weaponry. And as we all know, Sable was like a paramilitary organization in the game. But a lot of their equipment and gear got left behind. Hammerhead's been collecting it for something called Project Olympus.
Oh,
I know
God.
it's as gaudy as it sounds. The DLC opens up with what's her name? Basically, hold on 1 second. Someone needs me. I'll be right back.
And there he goes. Don't mind me, I'm just eating. The casserole's gone. There's still some upstairs. I don't really want to eat it all. It's really good. Just the green beans are terrible. I never understood this. Who in their right mind cooks green beans only for them to be like really squeaky on your teeth and crunchy still? That is terrible. Absolutely terrible. Luckily I got chips.
All right, I'm back. Sorry about that.
It's alright.
Nobody can apparently program the Roomba but me.
Wow.
Yeah, we bought a Roomba.
That is like the easiest thing to do.
Again, these two like to relegate the majority of the technical responsibilities to me. So, yeah.
For me, for my family, it's me and my dad. My brother just walks. My brother just goes outside for a cigarette.
No, here's the funny thing. Logan actually thinks the Roomba's another dog.
Oh.
He has actually gone to the Roomba and tried to sniff its ass. And that's the funny thing. He doesn't go to any side. He actually goes behind the Roomba and sniffs its ass.
Ooh,
it's
dusty.
like that poor thing. He thinks everything's a living creature.
Yeah.
It's like I've said this 100 times, and I'll say it 100 times more. Every time he comes into my room and the model kits, he thinks there's little people, so he'll sit there waiting for pets. Oh man, poor thing.
He's still a good dog.
Yes, he is. All right, going back. So basically, it opens up with the SWAT and the police officer that's buddy buddy with Spider-Man going to raid Hammerhead's base of operations, but it goes terribly. Hammerhead butchers the entire SWAT team in front of Yuri, which is the name of the woman officer, in front of her and basically taunts her about it. She tries to save one of her officers before he gets killed, but power goes out, the fight ensues, and the poor guy dies. It's actually kind of sad because at the beginning, he shows Spider-Man a watch he got from his kid, which has a little Spider-Man inside the watch.
Oh, like those
And it's like,
goofy watches.
Yeah, it's like, motherfucker, why would you do this? It's like, we just started, man.
It's not like related at all, but like this is why I kind of struggle with some of the modern day movies. Like, you know that movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger in it called like Last Stand or something, where they're in that little town?
I've heard of it. I've never seen it.
It's a good movie. It just has like excessive gore. At the beginning of the movie, a cartel, like next gen cartel, a guy who is so deep into this family that he believes he's immortal. That kind of guy. He stops an FBI agent from grabbing his radio and talks to him like, you got a 2-year-old son, don't you? He just nods. He goes, do you really want to die for that? He just shakes his head like, let's go to the radio, and he shoots him in the head anyway.
What a prick. But anyway, it gets better. So eventually, Yuri has to, obviously all her men died, so she has to call the family. It's very, very sad, very tragic. I do feel for the poor woman. But this is just, it just gets worse and worse for her, unfortunately, because every time they even get a chance to, stand and get one over Hammerhead, he always seems to just beat them, More people die, things get worse. It's horrible. And you can see it. It's starting to have an adverse effect on her, to the point where she, basically, when they attack the precinct and steal all the tech relating to Project Olympus, she's destroyed. She's glaring at Spider-Man because Hammerhead distracted Spider-Man so he wouldn't help them. She's glaring at him, and she's decided, okay, enough of this. I'm going to find the man. I'm just going to kill him. And it's horrifying. And even Spider-Man's taken aback. Or tries to help her, but she's more like, get out of my way or I'm going to arrest you. It's very, very powerful shit. Eventually, it gets more and more like that. I do want to also mention this to break the monotony and the sadness for a moment. The DLCs do have funny moments to it. Both of them, by the way. One of them, and I kid you not, is in the first DLC, Spider-Man actually knows a restaurant, knows a pizza place that are like his biggest fans or whatever. So they let him have a pizza in exchange. He gives them publicity on the internet. And it's amazing because he actually, I believe, like in the little bit of the downtime before another mission starts up, he actually speed dials the place and orders a large meat lover's pizza. And the guy's like, just wait like 30 minutes. Spider-Man.
You're cutting out.
Oh, how bad?
We got 30 minutes. That was it.
How odd. But, they just, the deal goes around, yada, yada, yada. And what I absolutely adore about that is Spider-Man. At the end of it all, Spider-Man.
Yeah, we're not getting any of that.
Fucking hell. How bad am I breaking?
We can only hear you when you say Spider-Man.
What?
That's it. You've said Spider-Man a few times. We don't know what the heck he's doing. What about Spider-Man? What?
Okay. Let me try this now. Basically, every time so he calls the place up, calls the pizza place. They agree to get a pizza for him, and they tell him, give him 30 minutes, so he actually does a little mission. And about 30 minutes time, he does get the large meat lover's pizza. And he praises the damn, like, privately, he praises the damn thing like it's a gift from God. Even when he opens it, he sits down and he says, um, you're so beautiful, but now I must destroy you.
I think I've seen something like that. There is a comic, like a Deadpool comic, where he goes into a pizza parlor, and the guys freak out and run because they think he's a bad guy. So he walks behind the counter, he grabs a slice of pizza, and he opens their cash register and drops like $20 in, and then walks out.
Oh, oh, that's so sweet. But no, and what I love about that whole bit with the pizza is that shortly after he gets the pizza and everything, MJ calls him, and she can hear him scarfing it down. And he's trying to eat it so quickly to come and help her. She's like, no, enjoy your food. I got it. It's so funny. Oh, the poor man cannot catch a break.
Oh my god, that pizza.
Yeah, it looks amazing, doesn't it?
That is 2D as shit.
That's the funny thing. It's actually...
Oh, wait.
They actually...
Oh, yeah, we're good. I thought we were still on, like, the break menu, but no, we're on our regular menu with a pizza in the middle.
But no, they actually modeled... oh god, what's the word I'm looking for? They actually modeled the pizza for him to eat and everything. It's like, these guys did not waste time with this.
In the words of John Hammond, spared no expense.
Exactly. But anyway, so another thing that you do in the second DLC is actually you have access to a little spider bot.
Aww!
Kind of cute.
Why does it look like a car?
I don't know.
It looks like a Ford at the front.
And here is my spider bot, sponsored by Ford. But no, basically, so the whole bit with the spider bot is that he actually deploys the little guy to infiltrate a place called the Bar with No Name. Yes, that's what it's called. It's a criminal hideout, and the little robot actually goes in there and survives an entire gunfight. And Spider-Man's like, wow, sweet. He talks to the thing like he talks to Spider-Bot like it's a living thing and everything. I'm like, motherfucker, it is an RC car. But it's quite good. Anyway, going back to the DLC. So eventually, you do track down Hammerhead. I think it's the most fucked up thing I've ever seen. He's got all 4 of the Dons bound and tied with bags over their heads, and his goal, his whole thing, he's broadcasting this, by the way, all on live TV. And slowly he's filling the hole they're standing in with cement. That is messed up. I mean, they don't die, obviously, but it's still kind of like, Jesus Christ, man.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Spider-Man saves the day, jumps up to the building, fights Hammerhead in and I kid you not, a mech suit he put together from the Sable Tech, and fights Spider-Man. It's like, okay, you have a right to do something stupid, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. We did just have a guy practically make love to a pizza.
True. So
you have every right to do something that's crazy and stupid.
Mm-hmm. But so of course Yuri does arrive, and it's kind of fucked up. She's shooting at Hammerhead, but because of the mech suit, he's not getting shot, but she's shooting him with a high-powered weapon.
Yeah.
And her running behind Spider-Man. What to fucking do? The woman is broken and enraged with Hammerhead. Like, this is the kind of vengeance you don't see often. Hell, even in the beginning, he talked about Hammerhead's like, oh, you all need a lesson in fear. And now she's got him on the ropes. And you can actually, for a moment, you can see the terror in his face. But of course, he tries to play tough and everything. She puts the gun to his head, and Spider-Man, by the way, I love the fact that he doesn't stop her from shooting him, but the moment she puts the gun to his head, that's when he's like, I have to stop her. So he does the web thing, grabs the gun and pulls it, but she pulls the trigger and shoots the guy in the head. And you can actually see, like, after she shoots him, the skin is gone. You see the metal plate. It's kind of fucked up for a moment, and it's like red hot too.
Yeah.
So she pretty much killed the guy, but it ends with a "to be continued" in the next DLC. Then, of course, with the cliffhanger where apparently Hammerhead actually isn't dead because of the plate. One of his thugs brings him back posing to be a police officer, that kind of shit. I should also mention, Miles is also in the DLC, but in phone calls, and is asking Peter, like an excited child, "Hey, Spider-Man, Peter, when's our next lesson in being Spider-Man?" And of course, because of what's happening, Peter Parker has to out and say, "I promise this time, this," that kind of thing. But of course, the kid's very, very excited. And when he hangs up the first time around, he's like, "I have created a monster of enthusiasm." Of course, Miles isn't patient, and about the third call, Spider-Man can hear his voice is down. He's like, I know something's up. And he's like, how? And he's like, right, I haven't taught you about Spider-Sense yet. Which I found was kind of cool. Again, I love this idea that Spider-Man is mentoring the next Spider-Man. It's pretty amazing. I love it.
Yeah, that reminds me, I want to see that Spider-Man movie that's coming out.
Yeah, the one with the whole, can pigs talk in this universe? Because I don't want to freak her out.
I want to see it mostly for Spider-Pig.
Yes, Peter Porker.
Sorry, Spider-Ham. That's his name. Spider-Ham.
I can't believe that's a thing.
Mm-hmm.
But no, so basically he hears his voice, finds out he's in the general hospital because he jumped off a bridge.
Oh, God.
He's not dead or anything. He's not hurt. He just broke a toe on the impact. And Peter's like, Jesus Christ, what have I done? He's free, feels guilty about the kid getting hurt, but he's like, no, it's fine. So Peter kind of talks to him, is like, I get it. We're not, you feel great and everything, but we're not indestructible, And the kid, it's clear that he's got the message. He understands the lesson. And Peter does promise to teach him as soon as on the weekend. Again, this is all great, and I do hope we see more of this mentoring. Actually training Miles to be the Spider-Man that he's meant to be.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but overall, I'm gonna say this. This is a DLC. So far, these DLCs are great. They really do feel like something out of the comics, but given a realistic setting. It's fantastic, and I enjoy it. Again, Insomniac has, basically hit the ball, which is great.
Yeah.
Now on to something that is less great. This is the second part of my little review series.
I'm not playing this intro again.
No.
The second part of the review.
Yeah, just rewind a bit.
No.
But and that is, I decided to sit down and see a bit of The Predator, the new one. I was not impressed. So let's get this out of the way. I decided to run an experiment. I had heard about the start of the movie enough to the point where I could probably say, okay, I don't need to see this or anything like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I did an experiment, and I decided to skip ahead in the movie towards the midway point towards the ending. And guess what?
What?
I didn't miss a beat of anything. That is how little this movie has going for it. In fact, ironically enough, because I only saw the middle to the end, it was a better movie than I expected. That is fucking saying something. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get this out of the way first. So this movie says the Predators are buying head thing, not because they're collecting trophies, but because they're spinal fluid, so they can splice it with their bodies to make themselves better.
What?
Yeah. And
What?
that's fucking stupid. Yeah, just try to wrap your head around that. Really, just try.
Uh, uh, I'm actually getting a headache from this.
Yeah, it gets better. So this movie is trying to retcon what the Predators do. Fucking no, that's not what they do. Have you seen their ships? Have you seen what they do with the bodies? They're collecting trophies, you dumb shits.
I mean, we even see what they do with the skull in the second Predator movie.
Exactly, and hello, look at Chopper. He's got 2 fucking spines and skulls on his back. Are you telling me he's been extracting spinal fluid from that? Maybe, you know what? You could probably argue that the new Predators are doing this, the Bad Bloods, if you want to say that, and fine. If that's the case, these are the only ones doing it, fine. But if you're trying to make it that all of them are doing this, then fucking no. I refuse to accept that. Second, the reason why a predator came to the reason why predators are coming to the planet is because they like the hot season. And so they're coming here with an invasion force to take over the Earth because we've turned it into a warmer climate. What?
Well, they're not wrong. But all right.
Yeah, but apparently they're hunting us specifically so they can extract to the warmer climate. A warmer climate that would kill us all within the first few years.
Yeah.
Plot hole. The biggest one alive. Let's keep going. And apparently some predators don't want to do that. So one of them flies to Earth with the goal of giving humanity a gift to defend themselves. Spoiler alert, it's a predator suit. It's the Iron Man version of a predator suit.
Isn't that kind of like in predator society? Isn't that illegal to do? Like they don't want humans to gain their technology.
Yeah. In fact, I'm trying to find the predator killers just to show how fucking retarded this is. Because it's like you have to see this thing to really get the full front of how stupid it is. And this is funny coming from someone who's read the comics and have seen predator suits given to humans before. I would like to point out that these suits were just sized down versions of the suits a predator would normally wear, by the way. There's no crazy adaptation or bullshit like that.
This coming from a guy who we met each other through predator stuff.
Yeah. Go figure.
Yeah.
But by the way, the suit also has fake dreadlocks for some reason.
Wasn't there like a weird study like back when we were only talking to each other through DeviantArt? Wasn't there like a weird study that said that that's how they sense things?
Yeah, it was a weird thing. I don't think that's ever gotten any traction after that. At least from what I've heard. Let's see, is this it? Okay, this isn't the suit itself, but this is as close as I can get. I think this is official movie concept art. I'll keep looking for like the version of the movie.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, that's basically what it is. Oh no, wait. Here's another version. I think. Again, sorry for the quality.
That's alright.
Yeah, it has gigantic shoulder casters with multiple LEDs. Why is this a thing? It's like, no. This is fucking stupid.
It's like a shitty version of the Power Rangers.
No, Iron Man. That's what it is.
That too.
It's as if Tony Stark found Predator technology and said, "You know what? Let me put this on my suit," and just never looked back. Oh, and it gets worse actually. So this Predator, the one that came to Earth, the one that's like the movie starts with, is called like the criminal or the thief or just some bullshit like that. So he's captured in the beginning of the movie. They sedate him, and then he breaks out. He completely butchers the entire team of people who are trying to study him, which makes sense. I actually love the escape sequence because he actually bites someone's arm as they're down. That's something we don't see very often with predators, them actually biting someone.
Mm-hmm. They'll flare and they'll roar, but rarely do we ever see them bite.
Yeah, but it was very interesting to see it because the man to the forearm so tightly you could actually see blood being drawn like crazy.
Yeah.
It was very impressive.
Yeah.
He does try to escape the lab, and by the way, this is the one thing very odd. As he's trying to,
You're cutting out again.
I'm sorry. How's that? Am I better?
Try again.
Am I better? Am I still cutting out?
I know.
Like
just
that?
try again. Try talking.
Oh, sorry. So here's the weird thing. So as he's getting out of the place, he's getting like he's gotten part of his suit back. By the way, he has like a different kind of predator suit. Like this one seems more suited combat, not hunt. Like you can actually see like a sort of undershirt thing going, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Very weird. Anyway, as he's escaping, he's killing people with his hands, like using his claws, ripping out throats. Very again, it's a concept that in the absence of weapons, tooth and nail. But then here's where the weird thing happens. As he's walking, he kills a guard with a machine gun. And he picks it up and uses it. Not like a normal human. He uses it in a weirder way. He actually because of his size, he can actually put the stock of the gun against his elbow instead of his shoulder. And as he's walking, you know how a predator throws the smart disc, right?
Yeah.
That kind of weird wrist flick kind of way.
Yeah.
That's exactly how he shoots the gun. He brings his whole arm up and fires in like a vertical, not even a vertical line, like a slanted line. It's very weird to see, but it makes sense, you know? Like, this is a creature that isn't used to using this kind of weapon, so of course it's going to be a little weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, but by the way, I should also mention this movie makes the AVP movies canon because Lexi's spear is in one of the glass cases. So this movie is being contradicted by the thing that it says is canon as well. Because that movie also said they came here to hunt. Dipshit. So he gets part of the gear back and everything. And then he's trying to hunt down his other biomask that a human who lost his squad to this predator sent to his family through a P.O. box. And then his autistic son, yes, he's autistic, he has Asperger's, finds the mask and is able to understand the predator technology by playing with it. Just a bit.
That actually kind of makes sense.
There's an entire scene where the upgrade, that's what the big predator's called, is fighting with the kid because the kid keeps turning off his cloaking field on his ship. Now,
this is like two people fighting over a light switch.
Now, I want to point this out as well. Why is it that the refugees or the thieves' technology can control the upgrade ship when there are two separate vehicles? I mean, we've seen it in Predators where the crucified one was able the super predator ship, so maybe all the technology is shared, I guess.
Yeah, in some way.
Anyway, so his father is then put on a bus with a bunch of other criminals, ex-special forces, just people like that. Specifically because they want him to take the for killing his squad, even though it was a predator that did it. So he finds out that the technology is being taken to his family, meaning that the creature that hunted him is coming after his son. So he convinces the others to help him, and there's a random woman who has a tranquilizer gun who was studying the predator, and she joins with them. She kind of explains what's going on with incredible clairvoyancy. And then the kid decides it's a good idea to get some duct tape, put the biomask and wrist bracer on as a Halloween costume.
Oh, gods.
It's as stupid as it sounds. The kid walks out in the street with a mask that's too big for his own head, so he looks like a predator. A bunch of bullies pick on him because he's autistic, which I'm like, fuck you. And then he tries knocking on a guy who's drunk's house. Guy tells him to fuck off, and then for some reason this guy's a prick. So he gets on the second story of his house and throws a beer bottle at the kid because he's drunk. The bottle bounces off the predator helmet, and this is where it gets. Apparently, this biomask in particular has reactionary technology. So if it gets hit by something, or if it detects a danger to the user, it has a miniature plasma caster in the helmet, like where the targeting system is.
Oh my god.
So when the bottle hits it, the mask detects it, activates the thing, it flips around and blows the guy up along with his house. And my only thought was, okay, why isn't this a thing that we haven't seen till now? Come on.
Yeah.
So the other criminals find the kid, they go to the school or something of that nature. Again, I skipped around. I was so bored. The thief confronts them. He hunts them for a while. Oh, wait, by the way, when he escapes, I kid you not, there's a transport truck with a bunch of soldiers in it. He throws the shuriken in and just butchers the guys loudly. And by the way, the driver the back open, so he can hear all this, by the way. And as he's driving, he decides to ask, hey, is everything all right back there? Then this is where it gets better. The predator then kneels down, picks up a severed hand, and then grabs the hand and forces it to make a thumbs up pose, and then puts the hand through the window. And the guy's like,
Seems legit.
I'm just sitting there. It's like, is everyone in this universe retarded?
It would be a
Are they
Predator
mentally
movie without a
deficient?
guy going, is everything alright back there, even though there was something really loud happening.
No, but that's the thing. The window to the back was open. He could hear the entire.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. So then the upgrade encounters the other predator, and then they fight, and the predator's like, the upgrade's like, where's the technology you stole? Because he wants, by the way, the thief wants to give the technology to humanity so they can defend themselves against the invasion. That's his whole motivation.
Mm-hmm.
So then the two fight, and within 2 seconds, the upgrade grabs the smaller one, throws him onto a car, destroying the car, clearly breaking the smaller one. He then rips off the biomask. By the way, this also confirms something I said years and years ago. That stuff is pressured onto the face.
Yeah.
And removing it is extremely painful. There's actually a moment where after the upgrade rips it off, you can visibly see the thief in pain as you hear the noise. And then the upgrade punches his face in and rips his head and spine off. That's it. 2 seconds. A 2-second fight. And they market it up as, oh, they're going to fight and it's going to be some fucking hell. So then the movie transfers to the upgrade is now the big bad predator. This horrendously CGI looking abomination. Gets worse. So you and I, we both know that they have hunting dogs, right?
Yep. That was like the weirdest thing that I ever saw them add, but eh.
There are new ones now.
Oh god.
Which are they're hybrids between predators and some quadruped species. Hold on, I'm gonna get an image of this because it just has to be seen. By the way, they have no. You know how the other ones we've seen, they're called like hellhounds.
Boo.
Well, that's what the horned ones are called. Anyways. These are just called hounds. For some reason, that's it. In fact, a good way. Hold on, in case I break up. A good way to look at it is like this: if the hellhound is the Great Dane of the predator, like dog species, the hounds are pit bulls by comparison because they're very stocky looking critters.
They're barrel chested. They're up like that.
Yes, that's it. Yeah, that's it.
That would be more like a boxer then.
I can't find a in movie one without a close up on the head. So we're just gonna have to go with this.
My mage is texting on my phone.
All right. I'll keep looking.
Yep, go for it. Riveting commentary.
I'm sorry. I know for a fact I'm cutting out because I'm looking for and I don't want to say anything in case I start cutting out again.
Like you are right now. Yeah.
You see what it's like? Life hates me.
What the hell?
Oh, here we go. This is the best I can find.
What am I looking at?
You're looking
That predator
at an
looks terrible.
abomination. And this is the one in the movie.
That's more like a bulldog.
Yeah. There are two of them, by the way.
Oh god.
So the upgrade sends them out to hunt the people down. One of them gets blown up with a grenade launcher, because it tries to bite the guy and he just shoots it and it explodes. And then the other one gets shot up to hell, and one of the guys tries to shoot it in the head to kind of kill it, but he winds up lobotomizing the thing. So, or I think it's either he lobotomizes it or he destroys the technology that makes it obedient to the upgrade, one or the other. So this dog, it now acts like a regular dog, and he likes the humans for some. He loves to play fetch, by the way.
Oh god.
No shit. They throw a piece of metal to get the dog away, and he'll run after it to pick it up. Now, these dogs are not suited for fetching. Their jaws aren't designed for it. So instead, they swallow the thing whole and then spit it back up. Yeah, it's as nasty as it sounds. I never thought I would long for the days of the hellhound. It's just horrible.
I can't believe I share a name with these things.
Well, at least you share a name with the cool-looking ones, not these things. Ugh. So, of course, the dog becomes the unofficial next member of the little team. So then they all decide to try and find the family. The FBI or whatever organization it is, I don't give it. Come to the house, try to take the mother hostage. Upgrade comes, slaughters the FBI folk. The FBI folk then kidnap the sniper guy's son. He then decides to go after him, and they use him to unlock the Predator ship. But the kid doesn't care. He's a little bastard to the people who have him at gunpoint. Yeah, go kid. And of course, the leader of the organization, some bald black dude, is a complete prick about it. Like it's clear he wants to kill the kid the second he gets it, but he can't because obviously he's important. He even says, I really hope your dad comes here so I can fucking kill him. Of course, his dad then arrives using cloaking technology, gets his son to safety, has a guy at gunpoint with a dart gun, and the guy's like, "Are you with a dart gun?" To which he says, "Yeah." Shoots him in the face, and boom. Then he kidnaps the leader of the FBI, has him at gunpoint, and tells him they don't put down their weapons, he's going to shoot him right then and there. But of course, the guy's like, okay, as soon as I count to 10, shoot him, take out the kid's knees, and just get on with it. What a prick. Of course, sniper guy's team arrives and they try, they have the other guy surrounded, so they're moving in slow to take out the soldiers, but then the upgrade arrives and just starts killing everyone. And you know how a predator usually kills very quickly, cloaked usually?
Yep.
Yeah, he doesn't do this. He jumps in and just starts wailing on everyone.
But look at what
stupid.
he's been through the past few days.
It gets worse.
No.
He then he kills. By the way, you notice how his skin is like very dark accents?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not his skin. That is bioorganic bulletproof armor he can grow on himself. The only spot on his body that is invulnerable is his mouth. Get him to roar and you can shoot him.
Remember how long it took them to figure that out?
I'll get into that in a second. So he takes the kid, boards the ship. The soldier guys and the team of killers decide to not kill each other because they know for a fact that they got an alien on the premises. They have a setup where they're trying to translate the predator language, but the upgrade then uses this tech and sends and speaks through it and says the following: I have enjoyed watching you all kill each other, but that is not why I came here. I came to destroy this ship. You cannot have it. I will. What was it? I see only one amongst you who has the strength of a warrior. I will allot. What was it? I will give you an allowance of time. Make the most of it. A head start, basically. And then you see the countdown timer start for the ship's destruction. This is the first and only time I think I've ever seen talk English without, going the whole repeating what people say.
Want some candy? My brother, literally, my brother did that before I did that really, really long stream a couple of weeks ago where I said I had candy at the beginning. He walked down the stairs, turned to me, and tried very poorly, might I add, to repeat how the kids said it. And I just completely gave up on him.
So, anyway, they all decide to gather up the predator tech and go into the forest to run away from, to. A lot of the random soldiers just get butchered. In fact, one of them tries to throw the shuriken, attempt to get the predator out of hiding, only to cut off his own hand and get shot by his own leader, by the way, who has a plasma caster set up on his own shirt, and apparently it's neurally connected to his brain or something. Again, I don't mind the idea of them repurposing predator tech. I think that's smart. It's just stupid as hell. So the plan goes through. They fail to kill the predator. Oh, by the way, there is a scene, and I shit you not, where the upgrade actually sets a trap for one of the people and then pulls him up to the tree line. And instead of being cloaked or anything, he's visible. And he bites the dude's head and then just stands there and lets people look at him run away. I'm sorry, is this a predator or is this supposed to be a xenomorph? It's not only that, but he even he cloaks. He has built in his eyes or biomass sensor things, whatever you want to call it. Hell, he even mimics laughter in a poor way just to kill. It's terrible. And even when they do get the jump on the guy and burn him or whatever. By the way, but I want to mention this too. The main bad guy, the human, he starts laughing as two of the soldiers, I guess the good guys, are on the predator trying to bring it down by stabbing it in the neck or whatever. And he starts laughing at them because he knows they're going to die. And I kid you not, someone yells off screen, the chick of the group, and then he turns his head around to look at her all the way around to the left. The cannon follows his head as he looks, and it's pointed to the back of his head, and he blows his own head off. I'm just sitting there like, the fuck? Why? Why did that happen now? You know, I'm just.
I don't know. It's like that second AVP movie where not a single person questions the logic of going to the center of town where all the aliens are.
Yeah, it's worse than that, in fact. So then they all fuck up. The Predator then takes the kid because they want to. And I kid you not, the movie makes this a point of saying that some people, they say that, oh, autism is the next step in human evolution, or something like that. So the Predator, the upgrade, kidnaps the kid so they can extract his autism so they can give it to themselves. What?
Fuck.
Like, I think I know why, like, he understands Predator technology, and that's the movie's justification, but it's like, no. You don't need to make him autistic. You could just say his brain, he understands mathematical patterns, or anything, really, anything. So then they decide to, by the way, 2 of the crew are like dead. The chick is trying to stop the Predator from leaving. He gets on the ship. So then 3 of the guys jump on the ship, which is the kid's dad, one of the other guys, and another dude. I don't care about these people. So as the ship is flying away, the Predator turns, and it's like hard light, basically. It can cut you. So the dad falls to the ground, so the shield goes over. The other guy jumps, but then one of them decides to shoot the shield, as if that will stop it. He gets his legs cut off, and then he just falls into the forest below, presumably dead.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, motherfucker, you could have jumped, you idiot! So then the other is leaning there. Somehow he got hurt. I'm not sure how. So then he sees one of the upgrades engines is not working properly. So instead of doing the smart thing, which would be, by the way, the turbine, for some reason, unprotected by the shield. Okay. So he decides, instead of doing the smart thing, like, oh, I don't know, shoot the turbine or throw something in it so that way the turbine is jammed, he runs to it, jumps it, and then just lets himself get turned to mulch. You could have thrown your gun.
Yeah.
You could have thrown one of the packs. You could have done anything that didn't involve running into the turbine. You idiot. And then the rest is just the dad gets on the ship crashes, the two they fight each other. The dad had his only armed with a pistol. They're in like a little swamp like forest. The Predator roars. The dude shoots him in the mouth, but he doesn't, it doesn't go in and like take out his spine or anything. No, he just shoots off one of the mandibles, which I found kind of funny because the Predator actually stops for a moment holding the wounded digit as if it's like, oh shit.
He's like, whoa, I actually got hurt.
Exactly. It's like, oh, okay then. By the way, this whole time the dog also swallowed a Predator. It's not dead. It's actually been following them ever since they left the other camp. Yeah, let that sink in. So the dad and the upgrade fight, the chick arrives to hurt the Predator, but she gets thrown off. But by the way, she shoots him in the head. You do see a little blood come out. The Predator doesn't die. He throws her to the floor. Then they fight. The dad tackles him. They fall, escapes the cryopod or whatever it was, slides down a shaft, and somehow manages to activate the shield from this random air shaft. I don't know why. The Predator is holding the ship as he's like trying to get up and stagger. Shield comes on and it slices his hand off, or sorry, about pretty much the entire arm up to the upper shoulder region, which I found kind of cool. He actually looks at like hands on the ground. They keep fighting. The dad then. The dog barfs up the bomb. The girl throws it to the dude as the Predator's trying to like kill her or whatever. The dad then picks up the arm, which still has the wrist blade sprung out. By the way, this for some reason he has multiple wrist blade. How do I put it? You know the Super Predator wrist blade, right? The one
Nope.
that it's the single blade.
Nope.
Oh well, there are
Because I
versions that have a
didn't
single.
watch the Predators movie. I didn't care.
Okay, well, but basically, the I guess subspecies of predator, if you want to call them, they they don't have the dual wrist blades. They just have the one blade, which is like a large sword.
Hmm.
But it can also be like just like Celtic's sorry, just like how Scarface can launch his, they can do the same. They can fire the blade out at people. For some reason, the upgrades has the ability to fire multiple long blades at people. Somehow, I don't know. So of
Wow.
course the dad then picks up the severed limb, attaches the bomb at the end of the blade, and then fires it at the up. The blade gets stuck in his leg, and then it explodes. Like it's like a porcupine bomb, actually. So you think, oh, he's dead. No, he's still alive. But
Come on.
he's missing both his legs, his arm, and he just flops to the ground in pain and just he's clearly dying and bleeding all over the place. So then they come up to the guy as he's dying, both of them, and then the dad says, "What are you?" And then the predator tries to say something, but he just does predator noises. Instead of the dad letting him speak, he just says, "Oh, shut the fuck up," and just shoots him like 5 times in the head.
Good.
And then the movie just ends with, "Oh, here's the predator killer because the invasion." Fuck off. Honestly, fuck off now.
Mm.
I have never been privy to seeing a fan fiction put into a movie. Now I have, and I never want to see that again. I refuse to acknowledge this movie. I refuse to acknowledge Predator as an official film. I'm sticking to the comics.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never watching another Predator movie again. That is how bad this movie was. I refuse to see anything like this again.
Mm-hmm.
And if anyone wants to see this movie, don't. Look up any other Predator fan film, any person. It's 10 times better than this shit. Trust me. All right. Yeah. I need to wash my palate after all that shit.
Wow. I actually completely forgot to put up the spoiler alert, so too late.
No, people deserve to know this.
Yeah. It's one of those
That
movies
people
where
should see.
spoiling it is no problem.
Yeah.
Oh.
All right, I guess we're on to our last stuff then for the night. The monthly stuff.
Yeah, the stuff that we were supposed to do last month, but again, Thanksgiving and technical issues said no.
Yep.
I guess I'll go first because you've been doing a lot of talking.
Yep. Go ahead.
All right. So, before we begin, I want to point out I talked with Bill about this. We did not have. We had a Pokemon for November, and we had to push it to December instead. So we had to find a different Pokemon for November. And because November is personally one of my most hated months, we had to find a not so popular Pokemon to take its place. So that not so popular Pokemon is Magmar.
Really?
The one with the butt on his head. Yeah. I would have argued, but like the spinner said Generation 1 Fire, and the only other Generation 1 Fires were Growlithe and Arcanine, Vulpix and Ninetales, and I'll be damned if I put those guys in my hated month. So, Magmar.
I don't mind Magmar. I find it
Yeah, I like
interesting.
him. I like Magmar. I don't like his next evolution because that's just really weird. And I like his previous evolution, but I don't really have a problem with Magmar. It's just the only one we could pick.
Yeah, I mean, I want to know what this is, though, because it looks like a duck crossed with Godzilla.
I know. That was like my point. Like, as soon as he said, "How about Magmar?" I looked at it and went, "He looks like a duck." I love ducks. No, he isn't the Magmar is not the Pokemon of December though. He's the Pokemon of November.
Yeah, let's again.
And when you think about it with like the turkey and stuff, it fits. But no, the Pokemon of December, no, that's the stats, is a classic favorite, Charizard. For the spinner on this one, we rolled Generation 1 Flyer. And...
Alright. Alright.
We sifted through all the flyers, we talked about it. All of them are really good, just they're not how you would say household or family material, I guess you'd say. They're more they're personal stuff, like things only zoos or their own species can handle. Like Farfetch'd would be terrible. Farfetch'd would be absolutely terrible. Unless you're a farmer who only grows leeks, but even then he'd be terrible. Spearow would be amazing if you're a gardener. Pidgeot all the way up to Pidgeotto would be great for a falconer, but that's just not practical. Doduo and Dotrio, the dodos, the ostrich dodos, just no. No. We're not doing that one. No. I believe we even considered Gyarados, but he is far too dangerous, and Aerodactyl is just as dangerous.
Well, Gyarados is dangerous if you can't handle the critter, really.
Well, no, it's just like Gyarados is completely built on the aspect of he will destroy an entire city just because he dinged his head against a rock. Like, he is very dangerous. He will destroy everything if he gets mad. And Gyarados are constantly angry.
But I bet they make great food.
So we kept talking about it and finally considered Charizard. And it stuck. So Charizard is the Pokemon of December.
Alright.
Essentially what this guy is about, he is an honorable fighter. What he's known for is flying around the world looking for a worthy opponent, and he will not fight anyone he does not find worthy. And what we decided with this one is that he'd be great for, say, a quarry or a forge. Pretty much anybody that has to work around breaking down materials with flame. Pretty much, or even a glass blower. Let me see.
Go on.
I know. I'm having to read his info because it's been a while.
The only experience I've had with not Charmander, what am I saying?
Charizard.
Charizards. The only experience I've ever had with Charizard has been, either through the anime or even raising one in the games, and even then I'm like, Jesus Christ, this is a pain in the ass.
Yeah, he is a good starter though. He's a good Pokemon.
If you can control it.
Yeah. Let's see where to go. Well, the plus side is it can fly up to 4,600 feet in altitude.
What? Just air travel.
Charizard flies around the sky in search of powerful opponents. It breathes fire of such great heat that it melts anything. However, it never turns its fiery breath on any opponent weaker than itself. These guys are honor-bound fighters, if you raise them for fighting. But again, we talked about this. These guys would be a lot better for work that revolves around flame. Forges, smithies, glass blowers, quarry work would work as well. I guess even people who work in the food industry, if they were really crazy enough to do that.
No, obviously.
Yeah. Other than that, I can think of people who conduct experiments going that high in altitude and using flame. But my
Okay.
mind only goes to quarry work for some reason.
Well, it could also work as like, if we're going with the whole warrior aspect, it could also be a good companion for also shares their desire to find someone to fight.
Yeah. Again, when we look at the Pokemon of the month, we're not looking for a Pokemon based on how you can raise them to be an all-powerful fighter. Because I don't really like fighting in Pokemon games. I haven't touched my Pokemon Ultra Moon game since I got it. Like once or twice I'll fiddle with it, but otherwise I won't play it because I'm so tired of the fighting.
Fair enough.
But a lot of people are like talking about IVs and like great stats and items you can give them, what best moves to use to become the most powerful trainer in the game, etc., etc. That's not how I raise my Pokemon. I don't know anything about that, so don't take anything I say to credit or to heart for raising Pokemon. I'm giving you like Pokemon that you could use in real life. What would it be for us modern day?
Exactly.
Charizard would be good for any industry that has to do with intense heat. And if you want to go with the fighting aspect, I guess it could be a good fighter for like military or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
By the way, I can't
Sorry,
wait for Detective Pikachu.
Oh, you mean wait, the movie or?
Yeah, they're coming out with a movie.
I saw that. I don't like it, and the Pokemon look too weird.
I actually know the artist that designed the Pokemon for that movie.
Well, then tell the artist you did a shit.
Dude, have you ever seen those pictures of super realistic Pokemon? Like they actually look like animals in real life.
Yeah.
That's the artist.
Okay, I see. Again, let everybody.
He's done a good job, and I'm excited for him.
Yeah. All right. Also, a slight change on my end. I've decided to go with mobile suit because I've decided to go with something different for my monthly thing because I think I already covered the one I mentioned.
No.
Well, I haven't covered that one.
No, you haven't covered the camphor. No.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind. I've been betrayed.
Let me look at this image again. No, you haven't. Not at all.
Okay, good. And we're good.
I think you were thinking of the Hygog and the guy with the giant head. The satellite dish head.
Oh. I could have sworn we covered the camphor.
No, we didn't get to.
Oh, well, then we're covering it then.
Yeah. All right then. Pokemon of the month is Charizard. Done deal.
All right, then it's on to my mobile suit of the month. And today we are picking a unique mobile suit. And that is the MS-18E Camphor.
Yay.
Now, believe it or not, do not let the design fool you. This is actually meant to be, and I shit you not, an infiltration mobile suit. Like for stealth ops. Let that sink in for a second. Anyway, as far as I'm aware, as far as I'm sure of, there was ever only one camper ever built during the events of the 1 Year War. And that was towards the end of the 1 Year War. Specifically, the Principality of Zeon had deployed new prototype mobile suits specifically for, well, they were losing the war at this point, so they decided to start deploying newer, more untested mobile suits, and even upgraded variations of the mobile suits we see now. For example, the Zaku had the counterpart, the Zaku Kai, and the Rick Dom, I believe. Eventually, the Camphor was picked up and upgraded from the prototype Camphor. Now, this particular mobile suit is unique fact that it is incredibly fast and is, at its core, capable of high-speed maneuverability and high-speed maneuverability in a short distance. This thing can close the gap extremely quickly between any other type of mobile suit, thus making the Camphor a very dangerous and very capable, I guess you could call it, um, what would be a good way to describe it? A very quick close quarters mobile suit, maybe?
Yeah.
Fair enough. Now, the Camphor was the main Camphor, the blue one, was put together and deployed by Xeon's Cyclops team during the infiltration of the Libot colony in the neutral Rieth Republic Side 6 during actually the 20th of December in the Universal Century 0079. So, actually, during Christmas. That's kind of fucked up, really, when you think
Yep.
about it. I guess they did that because, well, people's guards would be down naturally, so. Its pilot was, of course, the ever inebriated Mikhail Kaminsky, one of the Cyclops team's most, I guess, effective pilots, if you want to say that. He was deployed during the transfer once he discovered where the Alex Gundam, a prototype and, well, not really prototype, an experimental Gundam, had been stored. The Camphor was, of course, deployed against multiple suits and actually held its own, not only against multiple gym types, but even gym cannon. Not a small feat, actually has lighter armor. Yes, despite the Camphor's overall design and almost bulky plating, this thing is actually very lightweight,
Mm.
which is. Go ahead.
No, just keep going.
Okay. All right. It's incredibly lightweight. It's actually able to fly on its own, though of course its body will be extremely close to the ground and even its weapons will drag behind it. But for what it is, it's actually quite effective. The weapons that the Camphor, or this particular Camphor had the following: the Jaguar shotgun, the 360mm giant bazooka 2, two Sturmfausts, chain, and two beam sabers hidden inside. It was also said to have a heat hawk, but it was never seen using one. This particular Camphor was, of course, deployed and found it basically used its entire arsenal to take out the Federation's mobile suit. Eventually, when it faced against the Alex Gundam, it attempted to destroy the Alex with a shotgun blast to the central chest cavity, in an attempt to destroy the mobile suit. Unfortunately, it had become active, and the Camphor wasted its shot. I should also mention this by mistake, I forgot to mention. The Camphor had two shotguns, one with a stock and the other one stockless. It had actually resorted to using the stock version after wasting all the ammo of the other one. Eventually, it would face itself against a fully active Alex Gundam, and of course attempted to use the chain mine. The chain mine is a unique weapon. Basically, imagine a bunch of landmines on a wave. That is how the chain mine do. They're magnetic, and once the Camphor had, well, used the mines or threw it at the Alex, it had lashed, or so it was. Instead, it had destroyed the thick plated armor. The Camphor, realizing what had happened, would then attempt to close the move in saber to destroy the Gundam directly, since it was unarmed. Unfortunately, for both the pilot and the mobile suit, the Alex was in fact armed with two hidden Gatling guns inside its forearms. Due to the light, hold on 1 second, just loading something. Hold on. Here we are. Unfortunately, due to the Camphor's light framework and light armor, the poor thing was ripped to pieces within seconds. Both pilot and mobile suit were completely destroyed. I don't know. Well, I guess just for you, just to kind of illustrate that point.
Oh, good gods.
Yeah. Again, Gatling guns within the had the
You gotta
camphor.
love old cartoon blood.
Yes.
Except if it's heavy metal, then holy crap.
Mm-hmm. Many believe that had the camphor been given thicker armor plating, it would stand such a barrage from the Gundam. Hell, it might have even survived its encounter. Unfortunately, we'll never know. Since there was only ever one created and deployed, there are no other camphors out there except the several prototypes. Unfortunately, the prototypes are just that, prototypes, bound to failure and many other, well, as you can imagine. Several years later, of course, several years later, about 4 years actually, since 0079, there was once camphor that served in the Republic of Xi'an, piloted by one Lilia Flambert. Other than that, the camphor has never seen deployment again, which is a shame, since this mobile suit technically is a capable and functional one at that. It's just a matter of having the right pilot and the right skill set. If more of these were deployed and mass produced, I would recommend someone to pilot it. However, I would have to preface that the pilot has to be a veteran pilot. This isn't an ace. This isn't a mobile suit you want to give a greenhorn and expect results. And yeah, that is pretty much the camphor. Comments, questions?
Nope.
All right then. So yeah, that was the mobile suit of the month, and since it's technically December, I guess this counts.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not for December, but I guess it fits.
Yeah.
Maybe next month, during the month of December, I'll bring in the Zaku Kai as a sort of Christmas treat.
I don't think we'll be doing the show during Christmas week.
All right, then I guess after Christmas.
Yeah.
All right then. So yeah, I believe that's everything on the show tonight.
Yep.
All right. Well, yeah. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for.
Yeah. Thank you for joining us, guys.
Yep. So once again, this has been Rev, and hope you have a safe night. What? What's so
You
funny?
forgot. Yes, this has been Rev, and I'm the only one here, so goodbye. Rev and HH.
Yeah, so take care, everyone. Have a safe night. We will see you all next Thursday.
Good luck on Christmas shopping.
Yeah, good luck on Christmas shopping. All right, take care.
All right. Now it's just me and the audience, as per usual. I still need to change the ending screen. At the end of this, I always give a little speech and bits of heads up here. YouTube is really getting on my nerves these days. A link keeps showing up at the beginning of the description that says to support the stream, go to this link. If it's there, then somehow it got past my editing because I have deleted that link over and over and over again, and it keeps showing up. Hold on. Yeah, but it keeps showing up over and over again. It's supposed to, and it was originally like at the bottom of the stream. Yeah, of the description. Don't click on that link if it shows up. It's not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be gone. With Twitch, there is a creeper face down below. I can suggest not clicking that either, as it is the exact same link. It doesn't work. Sorry, my friend is playing a very beautiful game, and we're actually going to go host him. So, yeah. But, don't click on the link in the description if it shows up. Don't click on the creeper face, because it doesn't work right now. and I finally decided what bank I'm going to join. I'm going to work on that tomorrow. Every Thursday we stream this podcast, at least we try to. I would rather not stream it during holidays, of course. Every other day I try to stream. Yeah, I try to stream every other day. Lately I've been streaming for 9 hours, 8 hours at a time. But I play Warframe, I play Starbound, Castle Crashers is coming up soon, hopefully. Sometimes Terraria. I haven't played Minecraft yet, but thinking on it. Not so sure. Sometimes it's Overwatch if I'm really bored. Have yet to stream Gmod, and I've tried streaming Half-Life 2, but that's just really not going to work. But yeah. For those of you who watched this, thank you so much for joining us. We will see you next Thursday. Enjoy, like, and stream.